Hello? Oh gosh. Where's the chat? Pop out chat. There we go. Yokoso. Hello. Hello P. Hello Neil. Hello Druki. Okay. Okay. Alright. Move to game screen. Hello? Is my restream chat working? No. It probably. Yeah! Yippee! Hi everyone. Oh my god. I'm wearing glasses right now, but the face tracking isn't working. Alright. Today we're back to the Baxter DLC. The grind. Why glasses all of a sudden? I've been looking at computer screens for a while. This is just anti-blue light. Not really like my prescription glasses. Earlier today, I was doing some more work for Clover Cafe, the episodes, and I accidentally overcooked. I overcooked the panel. You mean reading glasses, Grandmore? Please! I have computer glasses and prescription glasses. It's for my farsightedness. But I don't usually wear it all that much because I'm scared it'll make my actual vision worse. Yeah! Okay, let's load in first. Yeah, I overcooked the panel and I had to redo the rendering for it. Which one was it? This one? Now I can imagine lazy-eyed Mori. No! I don't have a lazy eye! Please! I just have astigmatism, okay? Overcooked should be fine. It looks like... how do I, like, describe it? It's like my usual painterly illustration style, and it's like it doesn't match the style of the comic at all. It fits if you have lazy eye, bro. No, I just have astigmatism in one eye. It's a hard-working eye, Daijo. Okay, where did we leave off to? What was the last stream? Last stream we were doing some party planning and invited Baxter because he has a car. And now we're at the venue setting up the party for the surprise party. For our friend Miranda. And last we left off, Baxter went off to melt the chocolate. And now I don't know what's happening. Let's see the logs. Alright. Yes, Miranda has arrived. Terry's phone went off. Ah! She read the message fervently. She murmured in haste. It's from Jude. The guests are arriving. I repeat, the guests are arriving.
Alright.
Miranda, her siblings, her parents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. Friends and other people. They're gonna be in this room any minute. Be ready. Terry shot from the back of the room to the front in a matter of seconds. She hit the music on. She then strung a few bags along her arms. Those ones hadn't been used for trash. Cove put the accessories in them for safekeeping. After he was done wearing all the boas himself, of course. With that hanging over her, Terry stood in wait at the entrance. You and Cove joined her. Noises could be heard on the other side. Cove's hands clenched. Terry clasped onto his shirt like she was about to meet her maker. Then the door slowly began to open. Oh man, the glasses really make my model close my eyes when I'm reading the dialogue. Hold on, let me adjust that if I could. This better? Maybe. Lower the blink sensitivity. Right there. Right. On the other side, a small crowd was huddled together. At the head of it was Miranda herself. Oh my gosh! The dazzling pink party room was reflected in Miranda's big sparkling eyes. Terry threw her bag-laden arms in the air. None of them fell off, fortunately. Surprise! 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 As spoken, Miranda was overcome with surprise. Terry and Mori and Cove?
Yeah!
That's right. What do you think of your party this year? EP Mori. I just close my eyes as I read bedtime story. Terry queried her friend eagerly, though the quickness of the question was partially motivated by a discreet anxiety. Miranda blinked and she knew. Her family weren't the ones who put on this event. She answered with wholehearted appreciation. I love it! It's amazing! Way nicer than I ever would have thought. And we surprised you? You really didn't know what we were up to? You're not just being nice?
You're really nice.
You definitely got me. I didn't think it would happen. I didn't think this much would happen. Especially since it's not my 18th birthday or 21st or anything like that. It's only 19. What? All your birthdays are a big deal. Randy giggled at Terry's assertion. While her eyes were closed, you and Terry shared a look. This party was more important than Miranda realized. Hello, P! Welcome back. Thanks a ton. This is exactly what I wanted, and I didn't even know it. Cove let out a relieved breath. Terry pumped a fist victoriously, and the bag she was holding flung around. Miranda's secret birthday bash was a hit. More and more guests gathered and wandered about. They openly admired the room. Terry nodded, pleased. It's party time! Let's use the stuff we got. She dumped the contents of each sack on an empty end of the table for everyone to access. A bunch of sunglasses clattered out with the boas. On top of the pile was a white one. Terry stashed that back in the bag and threw it under the tablecloth. Whoa! Flora Cat, thank you for the follow! Hello, hello! We are in... Oh my god. I hit the mic. No. We are in party proper right now. You mentally gave her your thanks for the save. That was obviously for Baxter and nobody else. Yeah, we're saving the white boa for Baxter. Miranda gave a clap. It was one delight after another today. Terry sported sunglasses and a purple feather boa. Cove just went for a pair of sunglasses. He'd had enough of wearing those boas already. Or maybe it wasn't any fun when he was only allowed to take one. Miranda got her own oversized shades, but instead of a boa, she was granted the special birthday girl sash to set her apart from all the other attendees. Oh, what do you say, chat? Do we grab a boa or sunglasses? Or maybe both? Boa, ayo. Both? Okay, sure. Yeah, let's don a boa and sunglasses. This made you feel like the glamorous diva from that interactive play. Ayo! Nice, nice! All decked out for the party, Terry directed Miranda's attention to what else was on the tables. She was charmed anew when she saw the waiting rows of big champagne and outright stunned when her eyes landed on the display of glittery cupcakes. Who is this diva? Who is this diva? For real, with the feather boa and sunglasses? Ayo.
So great.
That's so pretty. Queen never cried. Did you buy those?
Nope.
Nope, they're homemade. Really? They look like they're from a pro bakery. Thank you. Can I have one now? Or are we waiting until it's time for cake? It's your call, birthday girl. She beamed. It was time for the queen to make her decree.
Fun.
Then I declare that we all eat cupcakes right now. What a gracious hostess.
Sounds good.
Works for me. In unison, the three of them reached for a treat. Oh, let's eat a cupcake. You take a cupcake and bit into it right away. The fluffy cake and creamy frosting were delicious, and all the sweeter knowing how much work had gone into it. Harry licked the shiny frosting first. That was the most intriguing to her. Miranda broke the bottom of the cake off and stuck it into the frosting to make a cupcake sandwich before she took a bite. She'd seen it in a video one time and done it since. Me who hardly slept last night. Yeah. No, I lowered the sensitivity. There we go. It should be working now. Imagine making a cupcake sandwich. I would eat that. Cove crammed half the dessert into his mouth at once. They each had their own unique way of enjoying their confection, but enjoy it they did. It was too bad Baxter wasn't there to see the results of your shared labor. You'd have to at least let him know all the trouble wasn't in vain. While the snacking occurred, you caught sight of Jude in the crowd of guests. He tied a blue boa around his forehead. The feathers hung down, partially covered his eyes. But his bangs were so long, his view was always partially obstructed, so it didn't make that much difference. For a second this morning, I thought I lost a toe. No! How much sleep did you get? What happened? Imagine losing a toe. Oh, I couldn't. I don't have one. Oh. Miranda's mom, dad, and her two older sisters were going around the room taking pictures and videos. Whenever the cameras ended up pointing at their general direction, Terry and Miranda posed like superstars. Seeing the entire Eckert family finally enjoy themselves really made the effort worth the while. The cupcakes were finished and crumbs were wiped away. Then, hand in hand, Terry and Miranda hit the dance floor. Cove's hand, meanwhile, hovered over the platter of cupcakes. He considered taking another, but closed his fingers into a fist. He resisted the temptation. Oh yes, I understand, Cove. This is party snacks. You shouldn't be greedy. There's a lot of people. I woke up at midnight with 10 different Mosquito bites, and this morning I lost them? Oh, that's some quick healing powers, P. You regenerate really fast. He jerked his head in the direction of your friends, encouraging you to come with. Cove left the snack table to toe the edge of the lit-up floor. He didn't go an inch past that border. Clapping and calling out to Miranda and Terry was as much partying as he was capable of. You joined in with Miranda and Terry. You stuck by Cove. You kept a wide distance between you and the action. Do we dance, chat? Do we dance on the dance floor with Miranda and Terry, or do we just watch in the sidelines with Cove? Dance, dance. Yippee! Alright, let's dance on the dance floor. We need to get a lot of use out of that dance floor. The two threw their hands in the air when you rushed over. Miranda screeched and Terry chanted your name when you moved with the music. More and more guests crowded into the bright lights at the center, like moths to a flame. Terry whipped and twirled her boa, and Miranda's sunglasses kept almost flying off her face with the quick-footed move she was pulling. After a couple songs, Terry dragged Miranda to the front so she could sit in the throne you'd prepared for her. Time for a cheer! Being the center of attention normally embarrassed Randy, but today she could ignore those inclinations. Wait there, Randy. Cove, help me with the drinks. Help me get the drinks around. Caramel dancing. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I don't know the lyrics to that song. Na 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 na. Caramel dancing. Oh 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 oh. I don't remember if I ever got a phase for caramel dancing because it was popular before too, right? I don't remember when it got popular. It first got popular. Maybe it was before I was born. Peak song, ayo. She searched for you over the sea of people and winked when your eyes met. You've gotta make up for not helping at all yesterday. Fine. They got to it, pouring and then passing the drinks around the room. Cove offered one from the first batch to you. The grim-faced lady saw what was going on and silently helped give out the glasses of fake champagne. She knew the drill without being told. Thanks to the efforts of those three, most people had a cup ready to go. At the front stage, Terry passed the guest of honor a glass too. It was time. It got popular like 3 times already? Wait, really? When was the 3rd time? I mean, when was the 2nd time? I remember... Well, not remember, because I don't think I lived it. Or I wasn't there to live it. But the last time I think was the caramel dancing playing in another room while you lay on the floor. Kind of memes. I like those memes. Those are my favorite. Just hanging out. To the B-Day girl! Happy birthday, Miranda! I watched that. Yeah, there's a bunch of iterations of it. And I also saw like some clips of people DJing caramel dancing from their apartment. And then some of their neighbors were just filming the thing. Dozens of sparkling drinks glimmered under the shining lights as they were raised to a toast. People drank and clinked glasses with whoever they were rubbing elbows with. You took a sip. You chugged the entire glass. You tapped Cove's cup. You only held it for cheer and put it back on the table. Let's cheer, Cove! He smacked your glass with his in tandem, overcome with the excitement permeating the room. It spilled a little. No. Hold on, hydrate. Oops. Good thing those cups weren't actually glasses. Yeah, let's chug the entire glass. Chug, chug, chug. Hydration for the win. Tipping the stem of the cup to the ceiling, you downed the fake champagne. A rush of bubbles thrashed your throat, but you didn't stop. Mori, hello A4! Hi! Welcome, welcome. The second or third time it got popular was like TikTok, yeah. The first time was old internet, right? I don't know when it happened, but I don't recall ever like encountering Caramel Dancing. Save for like that one Phineas and Ferb episode that referenced Caramel Dancing. I think it was like a special episode where they went around the world. And then they got to Japan, and then Caramel Dancing was all of the people there were doing caramel dancing. You liked to party hard, and Cove could not judge, considering how he inhaled a cupcake only 10 minutes ago. With a half-full plastic champagne glass, Miranda leapt from her seat off the stage and landed in the crowd on the dance floor. That got a second round of cheering. Harry followed right after, and the celebration resumed in full force. You were part of the crowd jumping to the beat. Cove still didn't quite dance himself, but he did pop his head to the music and tap a foot. Like the cupcakes, you relished the moment in your own ways. That afternoon was the party to end all parties, for better or worse. The music and cider flowed without stopping until... Yo, Randy! Miranda's big brother slipped through the few cracks in the wall of dancers until he reached the heart of the floor. Food's here, it's cake time.
Woo!
Yay! Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, that's like my first exposure to Caramel Dancing, the Phineas and Ferb special. I didn't know what it was, what it meant, and why they were being weird. Miranda gave a final gleeful twirl on her tiptoes. The birthday sash fluttered. Terry waved Cove over.
Oh yeah!
Let's eat! The gang reunited back at the refreshments table. And there, along with Miranda's parents setting out the sandwich platters for lunch, was another figure. A distinctly monochrome figure. He acted entirely at ease behind the table, busy doing a final check over a chocolate fountain. It was flipped on, and slowly, liquefied chocolate began to trickle out. Baxter did it! Hey yo, he melted the chocolate! Is that Baxter? Miranda peered closer. She'd come face to face with an unexpected acquaintance in a gathering of people she knew best. Yep, he was here before too. Oh, why is he setting up a chocolate fountain for my birthday party? Terry's hands went to her hips and she came out with the whole story. B-Man was a crucial member of the secret party planning group who made this whole thing happen.
Really?
What? Really? Miranda looked back and forth between Baxter and Terry at a loss.
Uh-huh.
Baxter's nice, and I think he can't stand to see an event fail spectacularly or something. But for whatever reason, he wanted to help out. He took us to the store to get supplies, made cupcakes, put up decorations, and did just about everything for that chocolate fountain. Guess who's back? Back again? He's back! Yay! It almost had to be nixed like 3 times. Baxter kept his professionally polite demeanor the entire conversation, despite the fact that he had to have heard what they were talking about. Feigning innocence, he came around to the other side of the table to properly greet the guest of honor.
Hello.
Hello, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you. She barely knew what to say after finding out exactly how much he contributed. But her gaze dropped, and she tugged at the sash self-consciously. A minute before, she was the life of the party, embracing the cheesy glitz with gusto, but in front of him, she felt childish. Baxter gave a considerate smile. You should be able to manage the fountain now that it's running. I hope the rest of the party will be a lovely time. You're leaving already? Her question was barely a peep. She had to muster all of her confidence to say that much.
Yes.
Yes, my job is done. I was here only for that. What? It was as if the floor dropped from under you. Baxter had worked as hard as anyone else to make this party happen. He pulled an all-nighter for it, and he was just going to leave? What could you say against it? Of course, he couldn't invite himself to Miranda's surprise birthday party, and she never had a chance to give him permission to attend. Staring at him, he was as unruffled as ever. Baxter knew all along he wouldn't get to experience the results of the hard work, and did it anyways. But, well... She released her hold on the accessory and looked into Baxter's face directly. It was really thoughtful of you to do all this. You should stay and enjoy the party too. You're a gracious host. His words held a sincere appreciation at the welcome extended. Enough to get your hopes up. But I can't do that. The rejection was equally amiable. It didn't make it less disappointing. You don't owe me anything, certainly not a place among your real friends at your birthday party. There's no real reason to feel guilty. Now if you'll excuse me, take care. Man, I need to adjust the sensitivity again. The eye-opening. $50. There. Hopefully that's not like messing up my eyes again. not the scary again accidentally. Oh no, the ads. Hold on. Dismiss that. Wait, no, why did I dismiss? I meant to click snooze. I can only snooze like 3 times on Twitch. But like, I don't want you guys to have to encounter ads. Alright. With a kindly wave that left no room for further arguments, Baxter breezed past your group. That was it. He was gone. Terry began to frown at some point. She had been willing to do anything to make Miranda's birthday great, but it came at a greater cost than she'd thought. Terry piled job after job on Baxter's shoulders because he was just another part of the group in her mind. She'd realized too late that he wasn't and never had been. Cobb could only silently rub at the scar in his left arm. And worst of all, Randy's cheer hadn't returned after Baxter's vanishing act was completed. He'd earnestly wished for her to be happy, but it was understandably hard to get into a celebratory spirit after that kind of revelation. It shouldn't have to end like that. It didn't have to end like that. He wouldn't let it end like that. If Baxter wasn't going to be at Miranda's birthday party, there had to be something else he could be a part of. He mentally grappled with the problem and cast her eyes about, trying to grasp any hint of an idea. Then something Terry said earlier came back to you. Terry? All 3 of the others glanced your way. It was the first crack in the awkward silence, and it was enough for Cobb and Miranda to also take an interest. Yeah? Could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? I owe you my life for making sure this wasn't a disaster. I'll help you out with whatever you want.
Me too.
I'll help too if there's something I can do. Thanks. Miranda's birthday will be going for just a couple more hours. It'll be done way before the place closes, and Terry said we've got the room for the entire day. So tonight, after all the guests are gone, let's use this venue for an after party. No, a totally different party. Another party? He tilted his head incredulously. Yeah, another party. Not a birthday. It could be our very own... chocolate fountain celebration. Party planner appreciation party. Happy summer bash. Which one are we calling it, chat? And I'm nixing the chocolate fountain celebration. We hate the chocolate fountain. We're not gonna celebrate the chocolate fountain, so it's either Happy Summer Bash or Party Planner Appreciation Party. I like how party is like sandwiching the entire thing. Chocolate fountain celebration! No! No! Alright, maybe, sure, I'll pick it if chat so wishes. We pick chocolate fountain celebration. And it could be just our group. Me, Randy, Terry, Cove, and Baxter. And we could try to set aside some of the food and drinks for later. Clean up the mess when everyone is left, and we'll have slow music at this event. The only right answer. You know how much he wanted to dance, and I'll do that with him. Terry, you could pay him back for everything he did by being his partner for that. Which one do we choose? Do we do we dance with him, or do we force Terry to dance with him? Back there were in fact no leftover deviled eggs, although I returned with a protein bar and ice water. Nice! I wish you could have had some deviled eggs. I don't think I've ever had those before. What do they taste like? What do you mean you haven't had deviled eggs? I haven't had deviled eggs! Those are like those fancy schmancy egg things, right? Boiled eggs and then the yolk gets scraped out and then mixed with like herbs and stuff. Is that how it is? And then it gets piped back into the eggs. Into the egg white. I could probably imagine what it tastes like, but I don't think I've ever tasted actual deviled eggs. Boiled eggs with the yolks taken out and mixed with some spices and put back. Oh yeah. There it is. I described it exactly. And you haven't had them? Yeah, never. Not even in like the fancy parties or weddings that I get invited to. No, we don't serve that there. Delicious water. Yeah, nice water. Go to the kitchen and cook everything right now. No, I will not. I'm not going to stand up to make hard boil an egg and make that, okay? maybe sometime. Maybe when there's like another celebration I might try that, but like that sounds like too much work. While you're there, get some maple syrup, you fraud. Give me the funds to buy maple syrup, and I'll eat it. Wait, what do you mean? Give me 5 Robux, and I will eat maple syrup. Oh my. Mori doesn't have maple syrup? What? Yeah, I don't have maple syrup. I use honey on my pancakes. All natural. What? Gasp. Am I right? Look, man, I live in bumpkin country. I don't have access to that stuff. You don't have French toast as well? I can make French toast. I am able to make French toast, but only without maple syrup. I use honey as the substitute. Character named Maple. I never had maple syrup. Don't call me out like that! No, fraud! No, I'm not a fraud! Leave me alone! I have a friend in Canada. That qualifies me to use maple, right? French toast is the best with yogurt and maple syrup and strawberries, bro. What is it with my streams devolving into discussions about snacks? Huh? Why? Why is it always like this? At any point, whenever I stream, we end up talking about snacks. I can't with you guys. Is it because I stream near like snack time? It's usually 3 p.m. is like snack time here in my area. We love snacks. I don't have snacks right now. I'd have to like rummage through my snack box to find them. Do not egg me on to get snacks. Alright, we've tangented enough. I'm going to pick a choice. We'll dance with him. Are we a great dancer? You knew how to dance well enough anyway. You're a terrible dancer, but that could be ignored. It was an emergency. I know how to dance. Yeah. At first, to affirm the idea was the one originally most trepidatious about Baxter being there, but she answered with confidence.
Let's do it.
Looking at Mori flexing all their snacks while Chat has protein bars and a mug of water. my snacks are like biscuits, okay? Cookies and biscuits, like which one? Cracker with strawberry cream filling. That's like my only snack right now. And then maybe like some corn chip snacks, but that's like that. Protein bar. I've never had a protein bar or a granola bar. I've only had chocolate bars. Or like Cloud9, or what's like the local candy bar equivalent of Snickers here. I'll be a member of the secret planning party committee for the surprise. If he can do it for me, I can do it for him. And maybe Terry was right. We could all use more friends. Cove did not look convinced at all, though couldn't disagree with the main suggestion. Okay. A wide grin pulled at Terry's face, seeing the new plan forming. We should catch him before he's gone. He might not get the message if he escapes now. I'm on it. See you, and thanks. You rushed through the guests coming in on all sides and clamoring for their lunches. Bursting out of the party room was like waking from a dream. The pink extravaganza was replaced by a plain white hallway, and the only sounds were your own footsteps echoing off the linoleum floors. You'd been able to forget the normal world for a while, but it'd been there the entire time, going on as usual on the other side of the door. But Baxter wasn't there either. James Mornings. Oh, hello! Hello! It's James Morningstar. Hello! It's Baxter's voice actor. Chat, hello! Been a long time. Hello, hi! Welcome back. I'm playing Baxter's DLC again. I'm playing it till the end. Whoa, yeah! Yay! Thanks for dropping by! Yeah, it's how are you doing? I'm doing good. I hope you're doing well too. Happy New Year! That's Baxter in chat right now? Yeah, it's the Baxter! Alright. I've been at this game for a while now. I really want to get it recorded on stream. Or, well, get a VOD up on YouTube, but here we are. You kept going through the lobby and into the parking lot. His hair might have fit in the black tarmac and white painted lines, but the camouflage couldn't fool you. He was at the end of the row, moments away from getting into his car. Baxter! You turned around at the sound of your voice. Pushing yourself further, you shot down the wide open space.
I swear.
Here he is! Mori? Did something happen again? Wait, please tell me it's not the chocolate fountain again. Your gait had slowed immensely at the final feat, and you came to a stumbling stop in front of Baxter. He waited patiently for an answer. Nothing's wrong. Well, that's a relief. You could have fooled me, however. You shouldn't be running out of the building if there's no issues. Go enjoy that damned fountain. Baxter's grin was teasing, harmless, though you didn't miss the layer of genuine frustration at the stupid machine after all the trouble it had caused. He smoothed his face and shirt out in fluid motions. I'll be fine. Perhaps I'll take a nap, I'm going back. I just have to ask you something first.
I see.
I see. I'm all ears. Okay, so I know you've already done a lot for this party and us, but if you're not too exhausted, could you come here again tonight? Around 7 p.m. Baxter's almost unshakable smile was lost to suspicion. Not good. This was a surprise you were planning. You threw out the first cover that popped into your head before he could speak the obvious question at the tip of his tongue. The thing is, I don't want to ride home with Terry. We need help cleaning up after the party. It's important. I can't tell you why. I'm sorry. I just don't know what I'd do without you for that long. We need help cleaning up after the party. A razor-sharp smirk crossed his face. That gaze cut right through you. Even more not good. But he wasn't there when Terry mentioned how long you'd have the room. Baxter might know something was up, but you assured yourself he couldn't guess exactly what. You stood your ground.
Certainly.
Certainly, Mori. I'll be there at 7 on the dot. You gave his hand a quick squeeze. You gave him a quick hug. You let out a relieved breath. Let's give him a hug, guys. Your arms came around him in an appreciative hold. It was only for a second, but his warmth lingered even after, and so did the sparkle in his dark eyes. Thanks, I'll see you soon.
It's settled.
Yes, you will. Baxter parted from you yet again, but as you saw him off, you felt good about it. This time, him leaving didn't mean he was simply gone. It meant you'd have time to prepare for his return. Yippee! We got him! You found your way to the party room just in time to sing Happy Birthday. Sliding along to the rest of the group, you acted as if you'd never left. Cove chuckled and quietly welcomed you back. Terry's confetti cake was placed in front of Randy at the head of the table. The 19 candle you picked up from the store yesterday was lit by her dad. When she blew it out, the room filled with cheers. Yay! Happy birthday, Miranda! Her friends and family ate sandwiches, salad, and cake. The chocolate fountain was a huge hit too. Thanks goodness. We got cookies and protein bars for the chocolate fountain. Miranda, Cove, and Terry, and yourself, each squirreled away a plate of extra desserts, snacks for the secret party. Soon guests got a second wind and more dancing commenced. And this time, even Cove stepped in on the light up floor. Every single one of you could enjoy yourself to the fullest now, and you did for the final couple hours of the party. When it got closer to dinner time, guests began to trickle out little by little. Many of them came by to hug Miranda and wish her the best once more. That was how Miranda's 19th birthday concluded, and how the preparation for the chocolate fountain celebration began. You informed the team on when Baxter would be arriving, and how they couldn't dally. The 4 of you, plus Miranda's parents and siblings, cleaned up trash and took down the decorations that indicated a birthday was going on. One of the tables and the sound system was left in place for the chocolate fountain celebration. They're really rubbing it in, huh? Why did I pick that name? Why did you guys make me pick that name? Nil! I know you're there in chat. Why did you make me pick Chocolate Fountain Celebration? We hate the chocolate fountain. You also recovered the white boa from under the table where Terry hid it earlier. It was still in pristine condition. Perfect. At 6:50, Miranda kindly used the last of her birthday girl power to ask her family to get out of there so her friends could have their own party. The Eckert clan accepted being kicked to the curb and graciously made themselves scarce. Jude held up a peace sign as he shut the door behind himself and the rest of the folks taking their leave. At 6:55, you double-checked the dance floor for any debris. It was spotless. At 6:58, you wandered about the room, trying to pick out the best place to stand and wait. Terry teasingly wondered aloud if that's what she looked like before Randy arrived. Yeah, it was. At exactly 7, the door cracked open. On the dot. For real. Excuse me, may I come in? Unsure of what he was walking into, Baxter paused at the precipice. Enter, Baxter! That was all the encouragement needed. Baxter came into the party room. He smiled graciously at the cluster of people silently standing ahead of him. Cove leaned over stiffly like a balloon slowly deflating. He whispered awkwardly into your ear.
So...
Oh, what are we supposed to say now? Are we shouting surprise for this? Right, let's all shout it. Okay. Terry, Randy, now. Surprise! The unexpected, not to mention delayed, exclamation of his entrance gave Baxter a start.
Welcome.
How good of you to come, Baxter. With the way Terry rubbed her hands together and the vague sense of satisfaction in her tone, she was giving the impression he'd fallen into a nefarious trap. Ah! Perry the platypus, how unexpected! By unexpected, I mean completely expected! Now all the guests have finally arrived, and we can begin.
What?
What do you mean? I should think the guests have left by this point. Baxter had a generously low level of confusion at the strangeness, merely raising his brow rather than making a hasty retreat. Even though Baxter would probably be the last person you knew who'd be scared off by villainous shenanigans, you decided to avoid any potential misunderstandings. What? Can't you tell? There's obviously a chocolate fountain celebration happening. A chocolate fountain celebration, you say? You got it. This event is Miranda's birthday no more. She dramatically crossed her arm over the other and flung them outwards, as if swearing off the entire concept of a birthday. Terry had to rent this room for the entire day, even though we only needed it until the middle of the afternoon. So we decided to use the last few hours we had there to have another party. One that's for the group of us, so you're invited. You parted from the bunch to position yourself right in front of the stunned Baxter. He didn't flinch as you draped the white feather boa over his shoulders. Hey yo! Baxter's mouth opened wordlessly as he stared up at your face. He tentatively lifted up a hand, brushing his fingers against the feathers surrounding him. He had to check if it was truly there. Then, with eyes still wide, a delighted grin grew across Baxter's face.
To be honest,
I must admit, I assumed you were scheming something, but I absolutely did not think it'd be this. I never should have doubted your abilities to throw a surprise party. Terry and Randy and Cove crowded around the two of you to reform the group with the newest member. Didn't I tell you the best way to have something be a real surprise is if you do it all at the last second, so no one even has a chance to put it together?
you're very good.
Yes, you did. I suppose there are some advantages to the strategy after all. And so, the chocolate fountain celebration commenced. Yippee! Yippee! Chocolate fountain! You hung around the almost barren snack table. It was the only piece of furniture left behind from Randy's party. There weren't even chairs, mostly. Miranda had joked that Baxter could take the throne now if he wanted to, That part came with the room. He courteously declined. The dinner was simple, more sandwiches and salad. It was also a mostly quiet meal, but that's exactly what was needed. At 7 a.m., the morning you'd left to prepare for Miranda's birthday, 12 hours later you were still there. Oh, this day is exhausting. Lazily enjoying one another's company after an extremely long day couldn't be overappreciated. Cove wiped crumbs from his mouth after he was done eating and addressed Baxter without being spoken to first for a change. There's dessert for you too, a slice of cake and one of the cupcakes. Thank you. I'd like to try the cake Terry made, but I've had quite enough of the cupcakes. Fair enough, he was well acquainted with the confections, even if he'd never taken a single bite. Then can I have it? Oh, Cove. Hold on, let's hydrate. Never miss a chance, Cove. Hydration.
Absolutely.
Please do. Don't forget the chocolate fountain. Harry jumped in with another sampling suggestion. That contraption was Baxter's second, arguably more formidable enemy of the event. It's still going strong, you gotta try it. However, he chuckled. Alright, if you insist. After all, that is the namesake of the event. For all the trouble it caused, the fountain had indeed kept flowing even as the night went on and dozens of treats passed through it. That was the only part of the equation that was in good shape, however. The plate of goodies alongside it had become a plate of baddies. What remained was some snap pretzel fractions, scraps of fruit, and mostly the full-size granola bars. No! They never touched the granola bars. Cookies and marshmallows had, to the shock of no one, been more popular choices. Those were long gone before the party had even finished. Not one to complain, Baxter plucked up a granola bar and slipped one end into the rippling sheet of liquid chocolate that he'd melted himself. Cove, meanwhile, wasn't going to settle for that, despite being the one who brought them. He tore off a piece of his second cupcake of the night and stuck that into the fountain. His fingers got coated as well. Baxter languidly watched Cove make a careless mess. Crumbly. You know, food that crumbly will get into the chocolate and... never mind. Smirking, Baxter removed his bar from the fountain and flipped around. He leaned his backside against the edge of the table.
Honestly.
What does it matter if the chocolate clumps? I wouldn't care if the fountain broke at this point. The point was punctuated with a satisfied bite into the chocolate-covered granola bar. It's good. No matter how definitively he made the statement, it was hard to tell if he was being serious or not. Oh, pretzel pieces. He tried dunking a piece of leftover cake. He went for one of the granola bars too. Underripe strawberry. Underripe strawberry? What would that taste like? Sure. Pretzels? Alright, sure, let's get pretzels. The broken pretzel pieces, let's dip it into the chocolate fountain. The chunks were so tiny, what was a struggle to get any chocolate on them without plunging your whole hand in. Sure, it wasn't ideal, but it was fun. When the slim pickings became non-existent pickings, even the most daring among you had to call it quits on the fountain. Terry used the final chance to fulfill her most base urge, sticking her tongue directly into the stream of chocolate. Oh! Miranda giggled and squirmed at how wrong it was. Terry gave a thumbs up, putting your body parts into the into that contraption was recommended, apparently. Yes. The intrusive thoughts have won. Alright. Terry cleaned herself off before making a new announcement. This isn't a birthday celebration, so you know what that means. It's not weird to have slow dancing as our main event.
Huh?
Pardon me? Dancing? This party of 5 is going to have slow dancing? Baxter questioned what he was hearing. Not in a fun, this is too good to be true way, but in a tone that was almost accusatory, like you'd gotten him in a trap after all. I'm beginning to get the impression that this impromptu event is less for the entire group and more for me specifically. Once again, the group became divided between the 4 of you together and the one outsider, and as always, it was self-imposed. Baxter's arms folded as his gaze wandered over each of the faces around him. He was searching for a reason. He wanted to know Baxter's motivation for his own behavior. Well, yeah, it mostly is. That was the plan. But why? You didn't have to. He insisted immediately, defensively. The chilly reception didn't hamper Terry whatsoever. Perhaps she took him for being shy on the spotlight. Whoa! Whoa! Raider! Hello! Raid, bald, what? Bald Kaito, huh? Hello, Raiders! Welcome in! Nephilim Raid. Hello, Kaito! Hello, kid! We got a raid on Twitch. Raid on Twitch, yeah! Hello, everyone. We're playing Our Life Beginnings and... what? Our Life Beginnings and Always. We're doing the Baxter DLC, and we're currently confronting Baxter wearing a feather bow. Hi, Mori Sensei. Hello! Hello! Welcome, welcome, everyone! We were actually just getting into like a really serious part of the story. You should have done that on stream. Like be bald. I recall Kaito talking about accidentally being bald when he started stream. Are you okay now? Did your hair grow back? Time was moving too fast. I'm okay, I think. Oh goodness. Did you get those hair supplement gummies? Angelic heritage. Hey yo! Thank you for the raid, everybody. I hope you get some good rest, Kaito. Get some snacks, hydrate, and relax, cause we are going to be getting into some emotional stuff, kinda. Yes, it's a hey. Thank you everyone for raiding. And now back to dealing with this little drama queen. She wandered away and hit the music, setting it to a lovely tune with a gentle pace. A nice enough song could smooth out any of the bumps. Baxter remained defiant, waiting motionlessly for a response to what he said. He couldn't and wouldn't accept the situation. A party for you and your unappreciative day. Under that kind of pressure, Miranda glanced at the floor and Cove sheepishly turned from Baxter to look at you for guidance. I see. That was enough of a hint for all to be clear. You were the planner for this party. Of course that's how it happened, was what you read in his expression. Baxter no longer traded stares among the crowd. He didn't see anyone else in the room except for you. Surprise again? You left me no choice. It was only fair. I couldn't just leave you out. You deserve some thanks. You met his gaze silently. I feel like this isn't really the time to be speaking. I wouldn't say anything. You met his gaze silently. He took in a breath through his nose and curled his ringed fingers into a fist. You'd have to take the initiative this time. For the second time that night, you approached Baxter. Then you offered him your hand. Can I have this dance, Mr. Ward? A crease in his brow cracked Baxter's hardened expression. He It was frustrating and wonderful to him, and you had your suspicions on why he struggled with the gesture. Delicately and still without another word, he accepted. For the moment, Baxter could let go of his concerns by holding on to you. Hand in hand, you walked into the center of the lit-up floor. The room was so quiet you could make out bits of the conversation the others were having. Terry offered to dance with either Randy or Cole. Both of them refused, with varying degrees of nervousness. Terry could only laugh. She knew it was coming. Out of the normal group, you might have been bold enough to do that with her, but you already had a partner. But that meant you had the whole space to yourselves. Though at first, you could only prompt Baxter into swaying in place. Slow dancing. With time and encouragement, the dance moved onward until Baxter swept around the room with you like the pro he was. You were able to move with him nicely. He kept his steps at an approachable level. When the song ended, the enchantment both of you were under vanished. Baxter settled himself enough to speak to you.
Well,
So, he murmured pleasantries a hair's breadth away from your face. Ooh. Was the birthday party a success? Everyone had a great time, especially Miranda. The only way to pacify Baxter Ward is by slow dancing with him. The only way to stop him from being a drama queen is to get him to slow dance with you. Baxter's lips quirked. It must have been a relief to know for certain that nothing fell apart once he made his retreat. Thank you for everything, but it went by in a flash. Are you romancing him? Yes, we are! In the first moment, he asked us out and we agreed. We are currently in a summer fling with him. And by the way, chat, James Morningstar is the voice actor for Baxter here in chat. Hello, hello. They're still watching. Yo. Oh, let's snooze that because we're in a vital moment. I hope we'll get some well-deserved sleep after this. Yes, a nap would be nice. Sorry for keeping up even longer. Don't be. This is more than worth the trouble. I'm still here, kinda. Semi. Here. Alright. Don't worry, P. I see you. His eyes closed and placed one foot back, only for a second. He thought better of that and brought it back in line with his other leg. I'm not lying when I say this is one of the grandest occasions I've attended. Confessed by a man wearing a $2 feather boa and standing in the final remnants of a birthday party thrown together in 2 days. That scene had to be a far cry from the formal events you were certain he'd attended throughout his life before coming to Sunset Bird. Yet you didn't doubt the earnestness of his words for a second. I apologize if I did not give the impression initially. I hate to be a bother, and you went to so much trouble. You'd nearly forgotten you hadn't let go of each other after the dance until Baxter's grip around your hand tightened. It doesn't matter now. The effort is sincerely appreciated. In a way, Terry had been right. Even Baxter Ward could be bashful in certain regards. That was okay. We were just glad he enjoyed himself in the end. Oh, Chad, what do we do? You were grateful you got this dance. You held him closer. You kissed him. Oh, you rested your head against him. All nil. Someone kiss this man. Pee! What is this? YouTube chat. Damn. I can't believe P just said that. Ayo. Let's just hold him closer. What the hell? You guys are rushing into it. You were sleepy and relieved and could finally just be happy with your charming suitor. He accepted the affection readily this time, snuggling against you sweetly. Aww. Aww.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me to your party, Mori. His eyes were still dancing even if his feet had stopped, but his words carried the weight of finality with him. There was a joy he found in the fleetingness of it all. Just like this might be your last big party with Terry, Miranda, and Cove, it could very well be the first and final time for Baxter too. He'd accepted that as a certainty. Baxter was always so ready to leave, with parties in the town on the whole. He treated everything that came his way as temporary, to merely be embraced while he could and then to freely release. Even though you knew that, even if he'd never done anything differently, you hoped he would keep I can't read. You hoped he would keep having a reason to return as long as you reached out to him. And that's the end of the final moment. Hey yo! Propose now! P! P! That's not how it works! Alright, let's time to get into the epilogue. Or well, step 3 epilogue. Let's save that. Save that here. There we go. And then step 3 epilogue. Come on, you missed the chest. They never gave you the decision. There's more. Yeah, there's more. There's also like a end of story epilogue. This is step 3. After the step 3 epilogue, we get like the DLC epilogues. You can pick between Derek, Cove, and Baxter. But right now, let's get through this step 3 ending first. Yeah, there's more. We've been at this for an hour now, so I still got like an hour left in me. Or maybe we should take a break. I feel like my throat's getting a little sore, so maybe we take a break for like 5 minutes. Yeah? Alright. Actually, I'm going to refill my water bottle and be right back. I'll be putting up like an ad break here. Alright. Where is my like on break thing? There. What the heck? Hello? I just got back. Hello? I went out to the toilet. A raid! Hello, raiders. Welcome in. Ungeeked. Hello, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. I hope you had a good stream. Please make sure to rest and get some hydration. Get some snacks if you want as well. Thank you for the raid again. Happy toilet break. Runatan Pai. Thank you for playing Our Life. I am at the tail end of Baxter's DLC. I just need to do the epilogue now. Yes. I went to refill my water bottle too. So like there, I am back from my toilet break. We're on step 2 still doing Derek stuff. Ooh! My god. I need to turn on the lights. My face tracking isn't working. It's you, hello, yeah! James Morningstar is in chat. How are you enjoying Derek's DLC? Thank you for the follow, Trouble! The game is so fun, it's still my first playthrough. Woo! I hope you have lots and lots of fun with this. It's a game that you will replay over and over again. I don't remember how many hours I've logged. The last time I checked, I've logged like at least 80 hours now. I've been playing this game for years. We're obsessed with this game. Yeah, there's just so many like dialogue pathways for it, even though a lot of it is linear. There's so much variation to the flavor text that it could I wouldn't get sick of this game. At least for like a year or two more. And I'm looking forward to the upcoming new Our Life game that the devs are working on as well. Alright, I need to turn off the break stuff. Alright, back to the game. Please enjoy my reading because I try to be very animated when I read these. Moths bounced against your window, attracted by the light of your room. A siren call in the slowly darkening sky. Just as the day was coming to an end, so too would summer. Liz would be moving back into the dorms before long. Luckily, Lee had been able to come stay for a short trip before her own new journey began. She had officially been accepted to her first choice college a few weeks ago. That was her last chance to see you all in person for her. You flickered through the plans for the next few months, realizing that you didn't even know when you'd next have the opportunity for everyone to be in the same place again. It was hard to think you'd likely be seeing even less of your cousin going forward, but you were delighted that she was pursuing her dreams. While you were still with each other, your family was going to have dinner together. As ever, the Holdens were tagging along too. Oh, you were going to the Chinese restaurant. Your destination was the tropical place. We've been playing for only a month now and still only on step 2. Yeah, this game is super long. You could go on forever with this. There's so much. Yeah, there's so much. Which one we pick in chat? Do you want Chinese or the tropical place? I don't know what they serve there. I'm thinking Chinese restaurant. I want the orange chicken. Chinese. Yippee! It was somewhere your family had always enjoyed going, ever since you and Liz were tiny. I'm not ready for a second game. It's already in the works. That long-standing connection made it a fitting location for a final meal out before Liz and Lee set off again. Technically, you were getting ready to go out, though your mind was only half on the task. It was a pleasantly warm evening, the kind that epitomized the vacation feeling, and you were in no mood to spoil it by rushing around. It was strange to think that summer was coming to an end, yet you wouldn't be returning to school. That pattern had been in place for as long as you could remember, and had come to feel like a natural rhythm, as inescapable as the coming of the tide. I always found it interesting that it's a prequel. Yeah! If I recall correctly, Baxter is also there, right? Golden Grove? His childhood hometown. We get jump scared by Kid Baxter. Hello everyone. Wah! How are you? Fine, thank you. Oh my god, baby Baxter, yeah. I've been trying to not play the demo for the longest time because I don't want to get spoiled or anything. I want to play the full game once it comes out. A prequel? Apparently so. This time it's like an autumn themed game. We get to actually see school stuff now with fall season. This was the first time you were going to be able to set your own tune. Whatever came next was entirely up to you. Whoa! Thank you for the follow, Runa! I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. The future looked bright. You couldn't wait to start your new life. You were nervous but ready. It was also uncertain. It worried you. Just thinking about it made you queasy with stress. The future looked bright. While you couldn't know what it would bring, you were confident that you would make a success of all of it. Mom called up from downstairs, tearing you from your thoughts as she told you it was time to head off. You raced downstairs looking forward to the evening. Orange chicken, yeah! Everyone piled into the car. While it was marketed as being suitable to hold 5 people, in practice it made for a very tight fit. Your mom sitting in front were fine. You, Liz, and Lee were squished into the back, Lee in the middle, wedged between you and your sister. But Mom was an excellent timekeeper. Thanks to her efforts, you pulled up near the restaurant on time. The process of getting out of the car was slightly easier than squeezing into it, with much less coordination required to release seatbelts than to secure them. You gave Lee a hand as she clambered out from the middle of the seat, then headed into the building as a group. A waiter greeted you as you entered. Ma let him know how many of you were there would be in total, and he went to arrange a table that met your needs. He returned promptly to guide you to your seats. You perched comfortably in your chair, your head held aloft as if buoyed by today's good fortune. Your family settled down around you, all cheerful and looking forward to the event ahead. I have to lurk now, thank you for having us. Alright, thank you for the raid again, Runa! Hope you have a good rest. Thank you everyone. Your drinks order had just been taken when the Holdens came through the door. They were pointed in your direction, though Mom waving an arm in the air was hardly necessary. Cove and Mr. Holden came to join you at the table. As greetings were being exchanged, Cove took a seat opposite to you. It had been left empty by unspoken acknowledgement that you and Cove would be wanting to sit together. Yes, it's like we are joined at the hip, Cove and I. Mr. Holden sat beside him.
Hi!
It's great to see you! Glad you could make it. Hello everyone, you wouldn't believe how hungry I am. I'm so hungry. How hungry?
I see.
You came to the right place then. There was some laughter, though Liz groaned playfully, shaking her head at Mom's sense of humor. Growing up, she'd have complained, and Mom would have responded by making another comment. Liz had mellowed over the years, but she still made a show of despairing at Mom's jokes. Her reaction to them had become a joke in its own right. Menus were soon passed around, and a temporary hush fell over the table as everyone read. It didn't last long, punctured by comments about what people had eaten here before, and light chatter about what people were considering tonight. Once the waiter had disappeared with your orders, Cliff piped up.
Okay.
So, I've got some good news. Kyra's making a trip out here tomorrow. Cove nodded, turning from his father to the rest of the table. Yeah, we talked about it and figured this was a good time for everyone.
Very nice.
That's great! Everyone reacted positively to the news, though Ma looked wistful.
That's a shame.
If only we'd known. Here we are, having a big meal without her. If we'd waited one day, she could have joined us. Mom patted Ma on the back, gently nudging her from the realm of possibilities and what-ifs and back to the evening that was going so well. Chin up, Lee and Liz will still be here tomorrow. We'll just have to throw another get-together and keep the fun train chugging along. Ma smiled warmly, taking Mom's hand in hers. That's true, there's plenty to celebrate right now, but there will be more good news and good times on the horizon.
Right.
Right, and speaking of, that's not all we've got either. Oh, more news? Mr. Holden's eyes were alight as he sat up straight in his chair, face angled toward his son. He barely let a beat go by before nudging Cove with his elbow, pushing him to follow up on the announcement. It was the very picture of a proud papa. Cove shied from the limelight, ducking his head down and staring at his lap as he spoke. Well, it's just I've switched over to working full-time instead of only part-time. Plus, I've been looking at apartments. There's a few I can choose from. He flicked his gaze up at everyone around the table, a smile creeping over his face. I'll be pretty busy going forward. Apartments. He was moving. Cove was going to move out of his dad's house. After 10 years, he wasn't going to be your neighbor anymore. I haven't met this Baxter character yet, but I'm excited. Okay, now I look. Alright! You'll look forward to Baxter's appearance. He's got a grand entrance. I'll tell you that. AFK. Alright, T. Mr. Holden gripped one of Cove's shoulders and gave it a loving shake. His excitement couldn't be contained. Incredible! Cove's actually going to make it to adulthood. It's a miracle. Mr. Holden leaned back in his chair, staring up in the ceiling in mock wonder.
I'm so glad.
I wasn't convinced I'd be able to rear a kid all the way to this point, but thankfully I lucked out and got the best boy a dad could have asked for. Dad. Cove blinkered his vision with his hands on the side of his face, temporarily blocking his father from sight. Despite his genuine bashfulness, which left him unable to meet anyone's eyes after all the attention thrust his way, he was happy. I hope you enjoy the DLC when you play it. Yeah!
Thanks.
Whichever way you choose to go with Baxter, it's a fun ride. Thanks, I was really lucky too. You're a good dad. Aw, come here. Mr. Holden threw an arm around Cove's neck, pulling him into as close of a hug as the seating allowed. He rubbed his cheek on the top of his son's head while Cove chuckled, accepting the affection with good humor. He looked around the faces of the company here. You'd been on this journey with everyone here for years, even seen them falter and grow, and they had watched you go through the same. Now you were striking out a new path. Cove was leaving his family home, Liz was heading back to college, while Lee is starting hers. You were all heading in different directions, to different destinations, some near, some far, but it wouldn't be long until you were all going your own way. Your heart swelled with pride for everyone. It was bittersweet. The thought troubled you. It was a little bittersweet. We're a little sentimental about it. I mean, I would be. But also, I'd feel a lot of pride because everyone's moving forward. More so. You held your head aloft as you looked forward. Literally and metaphorically. It was amazing how far you'd all come. You were sure that you would face each day that came head-on, knowing that you had people who cared about you backing you up, even if it was from a distance. You couldn't wait to see what happened next. Poe brought some attention to himself with a clearing of his throat and a small interjection. I'm gonna stretch my legs for a while we're waiting for the food and everything.
Sure.
Sure thing, bud. With a tiny smile, he nodded at his dad. But the likeness to his expression faded when he moved to face you. Wanna come? He was attempting to be subtle, but there was very obviously something on his mind. Something he wanted to talk to you about a lot. You watched him with concern as you rose from your seat. Yeah, I'll go. Take care. With those parting words, the two of you walked about the place. He was trying to get as far from everyone else as possible, without actually exiting the building. What did you need to say? He hadn't admitted that was what this was about, but he didn't need to. Cove started pulling at the hem of his shirt. He turned his head back to face you, but it was an awkward movement. Well, I wanted to talk to you one-on-one about all this. You know, my work, moving. I mean, it was all coming before, but now it's pretty much here. Yeah, it's exciting. Hope stopped picking at his shirt and he seemed to respond well to that response. He was relieved you weren't upset about it. I'm glad you think so. But then he looked down and his brows furrowed. You saw his hand shift away from his clothes and instead rub at his arm. Are you looking forward to it? I am. Well, I'm trying to be. He ducked his head further and you saw his face start to redden. But it's scary. I don't want things to end. Come on, you don't need to worry. You're going to do great things. So you're saying you're going to dress up as the future for Halloween? I never understood this joke. This is like a really corny dad joke. Dress up as something scary. The future. Boo! Ghost of Christmas future. You're going to do great things. You're so nice to me. Cove then turned his head away and wrapped his arms around himself. You felt a sudden chill that definitely wasn't caused by the air conditioner. I was just thinking, are we gonna stay friends? Are we really gonna stay friends? His words came out hesitantly. He didn't want to ask this. He didn't want a no. I'm not just talking about today, but forever, always. Title drop, always and forever, even if things change later. Right now, do you feel we can make it? We're gonna make it through. Or do you think we can't last? That one day we'll have to move on? You kept calm. You understood his concern. That was definitely hard to imagine what would happen. However, you didn't let yourself get upset. I'll make sure we always are. I don't know, but it's going to be alright. I'll make sure we always are. You're going to keep things up. There is no way you were going to let this fall down the wayside. Bob laughed with a delicate smile on his face. Okay, you win. I wanted to prepare myself for the horrifying unknown, but you're kind of giving me no choice but to be optimistic here. His eyes sparkled with mischief. Strong armor. That's right. Oh no, I can't believe you're going to be forced to have hope about life. Hope, not despair. I'm happy to hear that. You're welcome. I can't believe you're being forced to have hope about life. His lips twitched up at your sarcasm.
Right?
I know. How am I going to get past this? He gave a small smile and then stopped joking around. Thanks for listening to me, Mori. It helped. He felt pleased that his anxiety had eased after taking it out. Talking it out. I think it's time to rejoin the party. Do you feel like heading back?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that what we were doing here. That'd probably be good. With matching smiles, you both reclaimed your seats at the table. Both of you felt lighter and it showed. You seem happy. What was that? Yeah, it looked like you were having a quite the conversation over there. It's neighbor stuff, sorry. I used to be your neighbor. He waved off their questions and you didn't offer any explanations. They still seemed curious, but caught that Cove wanted it to stay between the two of you and let it drop. Things relaxed and you took a sip of your drink. Lee idly tapped the table and got your attention. I'm so excited to try this place. I haven't been here in a long time. I hope it's as good as I remember. All the restaurants in the area are pretty top-notch in my humble opinion. We'll see. It was a challenge issued. Liz carried herself like some sort of professional food critic, and Mom snorted. Tough crowd, jeez, Liz. Mug giggled and chimed in as well, much to Liz's embarrassment. That's right, Lizzie, jeez. Lizzie. Damn, that's a nickname we haven't heard in like 10 years. Jeez Louise. Hey, be nice to Liz. Oh, do we defend our older sister? Do we defend her? I would egg on. I would join in. Jeez. Liz put a hand over her eyes in mock offense.
Rude.
I hardly say jeez anymore. Cove smirked and turned to your sister. You leaned forward in your seat. Huh, jeez. Everyone burst out laughing, besides Liz, of course. She smirked. No one could ever accuse your family of being no fun. Night fell soon after everyone finished their meals, and before you knew it, you were standing in the parking lot, saying your goodbyes and packing up the cars to go home. After the last of the chores were done, your family spent more time together. The rest of the night felt like it was going by in a blink of an eye, and somehow the time came to retire to your room to sleep. You pulled your covers up under your chin and settled down for the night, getting warm and cozy. As your head sank into your pillow, you closed your eyes and your mind drifted back to everything that happened that day. Ah yes, the Chinese restaurant. You could see it all now, behind your eyelids, as though you were experiencing it all over again. And then the image of Cove popped into your head. You smiled softly to yourself. You decided to send him a text to chat. You texted him to come over. You wanted to sneak out to his room. Oh, what kind of shenanigans? You were feeling tired, so you snuggled deeper into your bed. We'll have time to bond with him tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the beach, I guess. It wasn't long before your eyes were growing heavy, and you drifted off into a peaceful sleep. The next morning, you woke slowly from a comfortable dream, finding yourself safe and warm and tucked up in bed. I have been having trouble waking up in the morning since the weather started getting really cold during the mornings. So like hibernation instincts kicking in, saying, "Don't wake up. You need to wait until the ice melts and spring arrives. You're still not done with your hibernation." With a small stretch, you opened your eyes to the sun shining in through the window. After waking up a little more and getting ready, you headed downstairs to find your family all gathered around the kitchen area. Good morning! You greeted them all, receiving a chorus of good mornings back in return. You nodded in acknowledgement as you headed into the kitchen to find some breakfast. A knock on the front door caught your attention, and curiosity pulled you to follow several steps behind Mom as she went to answer it. Cove was waiting there with both his parents. Morning!
Hello.
Hi there! Surprised at that sight, Mom paused for a moment, and then she pulled Kyra into a big hug. Meanwhile, you approached the doorway and flashed a smile at Cove. Kyra, it's been too long. I know, time's been flying. Kyra's gaze slid over to you. She waved.
Hey, ya.
Hey there, Mori. Hi, took you long enough to come back here. You waved back. Do we hug her? It's been a while since we saw her in person. Well, let's hug. Before she could retort, you had Kyra wrapped in a hug. She laughed. When you released her and took a step back, there was no missing the merriment sparkling in her eyes. Kyra grinned. With a welcome like that, I should have gotten myself into town long ago. How are the winters in the Philippines? Is it warm? Isn't it warmer there? Yeah, it doesn't really snow here in the Philippines. More like cold air from the colder regions up top get blown into the islands into my country, so it gets colder during like the Burr months. It starts around September until it dies down around February, I think, and it gets really cold in the mornings. So I have trouble waking up because it's really cold. But not cold enough to like warrant layers and stuff. It's just slows my metabolism. Really cold, like what temperature? I'd say the coldest that I've experienced, that I've seen on my room's thermometer stuff, is like 30 degrees, the lowest. But that's still like pretty warm, I guess. If you go up to like the higher towns in the mountains, it gets really cold. You need to wear a jacket in those places, like in Baguio, City of Pines. 30 Celsius, yes. 30 degrees Celsius. Which isn't really, I guess, surprising for like the colder countries, but for 30 degrees here, that's cold. Yeah. 30 is cold, kinda. I've never really experienced anything colder here in my area. But it does get up to like 20 degrees, 14 degrees in the colder cities. But yeah, it's a struggle for me to wake up in like colder mornings. I am a warm-blooded animal. I need warmth to wake me up. The scorching hot rays of the sun will have to force me to actually get out of the bed so that I can wake up. But yeah, that's why I like summer. It's the time where I'm actually alive. I would die of heat in 30. I would turn on the AC ASAP. Ayo. The hottest recorded, I guess, here is like 40 degrees? 45? That's the hottest I remember it getting. Specifically like in the main cities, like capital city, Manila. My ideal temperature is around 20. That's cold! That's super cold! My air conditioner runs at like 25 degrees Celsius. And that's already really cold for me. Dang. That's so interesting. Yeah. I think different locations have different heat tolerances, I guess. I live in a tropical country, so I have better heat tolerance, but also lower cold tolerance. With a welcome like that, I should have gotten myself in town long ago. Enough of standing around out there, come on in. Mom moved aside to usher the group in and guided them to the living room. Before anyone could get settled in, Mom spoke up. You're all welcome to stay for breakfast. We still have some great spices and stuff from the farmer's market.
Of course.
Yes, we'll be thrilled to host you. There were eager nods from Mr. Holden and Kyra, but Cove looked around the room filled with familiar faces before speaking up. Maybe instead of staying here, why don't we go to the beach? A scenic picnic then? Mr. Holden crossed his arms and contemplated that idea happily. Excited, Kyra clapped her hands together.
Yeah!
Oh, we could really make a day out of it. Might as well enjoy the ocean while we can. That sounds lovely, Cove. I'm gonna need to go now actually, I had a blast. Hope to be back soon. Thank you for being a part of keeping the game alive and active. And of course, thank you for liking Baxter. Thank you for dropping by, James! It's always a pleasure to have you in chat. I hope you have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye! Everyone else put in their own agreement with Cove's suggestion. Before long, both families dispersed, getting everything ready. I love this game. No one, you need to pry this game out from my cold dead hands before I stop playing. Sandwiches had to be made, water, sunscreen, towels, and more needed to be gathered and packed. An hour later, both your family and Coves were walking down the old path to the beach. The morning was already turning into a bright and beautiful day. You honestly couldn't ask for a better weather for a beach trip. The moment you laid your eyes on the full view of the ocean, you stopped and stood there, mesmerized. It didn't matter that you grew up there, the sight always filled you with wonder. Hey Mori.
So?
I was thinking about calling Terry and Miranda. See if they can come too. Everyone else is pretty much already here, so would your family mind? Wow, you had a good idea. Damn, one of the rare good ideas from Cove Holden. He chuckled, his mouth pulled into a bent smile. It had to happen sometime, even with Clifford's surprise Holden raising me. That had you laughing this time. You were already eager for your friends to join you there. Hey Mom! Ma! They both stopped what they were doing and turned towards you. Immediately, you darted over to them. My food's here. Hey yo! You got snacks? I'ma go eat. Alright, Nil. Enjoy your food. I have a question. Would it be alright if Terry and Miranda came by? I don't see why not. Ma looked at Mom to see what she thought, and she nodded in agreement. Mom then shot a glance over at Mr. Holden and Kyra, knowing that they had likely heard everything.
You alright with that?
Cliff, Kyra, what do you think? The more the merrier.
Okay.
Of course, they're welcome with me. Thanks. Delighted, you nodded and turned on your heels. Cole was still several feet away talking to Lee and Liz, likely about the same topic. With a beaming smile, you gave him a thumbs up, and the two of them must have also approved, as Cove quickly got his phone and started making the calls. At that, you turned your attention to helping with the picnic setup. Unexpectedly, your phone started ringing. You dug it out, curious to see the caller ID. Feeling your heart jump with excitement, you answered the video call request. It was Derek! Hey yo! We got a call from Derek, chat! How is he doing? Hey, this is a surprise. I thought you disappeared. I thought you disappeared, bruh. Nope, I have not. I hope it's at least a good surprise. Yeah, it's Derek! Damn, step 3 Derek. Hey yo. My beloved. A very good one. You chuckled at that and your smile widened. So, what's up? I don't know how low his voice has gotten. Because last time, step 2, he sounded prepubescent. The voice that came through was much deeper than it had been when you first met, but it's still the exact same amount of enthusiasm of a kid. Have you been enjoying these crazy summer days? Yeah, I have. It's been amazing. There's been ups and downs. It's been memorable to say the least. I would have enjoyed them more if you'd been there. Aw. Did we tell him that? Damn. It's been memorable to say the least. I don't know, this feels like a bummer. This feels like a bummer. Let's say it's memorable. Sounds interesting. You'll have to catch me up on that. But what about you? How's your summer been? You were beyond curious to know what Derek had been up to since the last time you spoke. He chuckled, noticing your invested tone. Honestly, I've just been slammed with stuff lately. College applications and scholarship inquiries. What else is new? What else is new? Well, I bet you're even more toned now. Whoa. You flirted. Whoa. Hold on, I need to take a step back with that. Your only real struggle will be choosing which place to go. Well, I'll be desperate to have you. I wish you nothing but good luck. Uh-huh. They're all desperate to have you. Totally. His chuckle turned into a sigh. You could hear his small smile when he spoke. I really hope so anyway. That would be amazing. What about your family? Are your brothers being good? My little brothers are little punks, but I guess they're doing alright. You both laughed at that. Mom and Dad are fine. That's great. My moms are too. Turning your attention back to your surroundings, you smiled warmly at your family buzzing around. Towels were laid out and chairs and umbrellas were being set up. Actually, I'm out with my moms right now. Liz and Lee are here visiting too. Oh, that's fun. If that's the deal, I'll let you get back to it. Are you sure? I don't mind. I'm sure. I'm not about to lose your number. Okay, bye. Bye, Mori. Have a heck of a day. Derek, and that's the last we see of Derek. That's the last we see of Derek until we find him again. Until he's not busy ever again. Hanging up, the conversation left you energized and in good spirits. It was exactly what you needed to make this day even better. My good friend Derek. You hurried over to your mom's and helped put the rest of the food out. In moments, you noticed Cove at your side. So, what's the verdict on those invitations? They're gonna come. Yes! Excited to raise your... you raised your free hand for a high five. Cove laughed and slapped your hand.
Yeah.
They'll meet us here later today. Shouldn't be too long. I can't wait! While on the topic of inviting people to join, you realized there was someone else you could call as well. You had gotten Baxter's number earlier that summer. You messaged him to come down to the beach. You decided not to ask. Oh, Baxter, do you want to go to the beach? Everyone else was gonna be there. You didn't want him to be left out. You sent him a text and hoped he'd show. After that, you made sure to mention what you'd done. No one seemed to mind. Once the setup was done, everyone got comfortable and dug into the food. You couldn't remember the last time breakfast tasted this good, but you attributed it to the gorgeous ocean view and soothing sea breeze. Man, I wish I could go to the ocean again. I wish I could go to the beach again. It's been a while. The last time I went to the beach, they didn't have like what is it, trash nets, I'm calling it, but the beach that I went to, there was like trash washing ashore. It was not fun to say the least. Like, we got there, it was pretty clear they just finished like cleaning up the beach, but then a couple hours in, new trash just came washing up. And I'm like, I think they should have put up some like nets far out into the ocean to like stop the trash from getting washed ashore. I've seen that from like I've seen proper resorts do that, but in the stretch of beach that we went to, it was like out of the way, really out of the way, where you could just like rent like cottages by the beach, and they didn't really have much of a maintenance crew there. So you're gonna get trash washing ashore. But in that visit to the beach though, I found like, because there was no far out net blocking the trash, jellyfish could get into the shallow waters, and we found like a couple really pretty jellyfishes while we were swimming in the ocean. We were careful not to touch them though, but we got lots of pictures. It was like a surreal experience. You wouldn't get this at an aquarium. It's behind glass, but like in the ocean, you get face-to-face experience with jellyfish. I'm going to try to find like a picture that I took of it. It's been a while, so I don't know where I stored it, but like I'll try to find it and then put it like I'll share it on Discord, I guess. The the jellyfish pictures that I got. It was like it was so close to the shore and we were right next to it, we could touch it. I recall my dad actually touched it. Well, the bell of the jellyfish. And then he just he made it like right up the water's surface. I was freaking out, like, oh, don't let the stingers touch you. Later, I'm going to try to find that picture. Morning swiftly gave way to the afternoon, and a very recognizable face came walking down to the shore. It was Baxter. He came. Afternoon. He couldn't come in the morning, so he arrived in the afternoon. He pleasantly approached with a wave. Hello there, I appreciate the invite to the party. Of course, you're welcome with us. We know how fond Mori is of you. Why do you have to say that? Why do you have to say that? Ah, that's so kind. Yeah, you're one of the neighbors. Kick back and relax with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Baxter's gaze moved over to you and Cove. He smiled. Mori, Cove, good to see you. Hi. You waved from where you leisurely sat, and Cove nodded. I'm glad you decided to come. So am I. And it was then that Baxter noticed the faces he didn't immediately recognize from around the neighborhood. He turned up his charm even more for the introductions. Excuse me, I'm Baxter Ward. I'm sorry we haven't met before. While we're not typically from around this area, just visiting, I'm Cove's mom. A few giggles escaped Lee as she watched Baxter carefully. When his attention turned to her now, she held out a hand.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Lee, Mori and Liz's cousin. Baxter shook it and then took a step back. Lee's smile grew. I'll remember that. It's very nice to meet you both. After that, Baxter spent some time getting better acquainted with everyone. Terry and Miranda arrived excitedly. The conversations shifted to what you would all do next.
In that case,
We could all do a few rounds of volleyball. There's plenty of us now. Could I play?
Is that all right?
Of course. Miranda brightened, delighted with this plan. Ma looked around to see if there were any other takers. I don't feel like playing. I'd have to change. But it'd be fun to watch. I could be the ref. My eyes won't miss a thing. Volleyball's a good idea, but there should probably be something happening for those who aren't a fan. Ooh, I have some crafting supplies we could use to make jewelry. We could even use stuff we found around the beach to accentuate them.
Really?
What? Really? I want to make a necklace.
That'd be great.
I'd be interested in trying my hand at that too.
Absolutely.
Impromptu crafting is my kind of party. I'd like to join too, please. Ah yes. He's gotten a taste of it. He's gotten the taste of impromptu crafting from the birthday party planning. Now he can't get enough. Do we play volleyball or make some jewelry? I don't like playing sports, so we're doing jewelry. Already, you were imagining various designs you could make depending on what Lee let you use. Your cousin shot you a thumbs up, clearly happy with your decision. Alright, let's hydrate for a bit. It's already 4 p.m. Bruh. 4:13. I've already gone an hour more. Oh. Well, that's why I started early, I guess. We still have a lot to go. I guess I'll try making a necklace too. Kyra got up from the towel she was sitting on. She brushed some sand off her legs and then stretched her arm over her head.
Can do.
I'm up for a few rounds. Well, since there's still a free spot, I'll throw my hat in the ring. Ah, the things I do for family. Thank you for the head pat, Safor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. I love that. Liz got up from where she was sitting, and you could tell by her expression that she was already determined to win. You laughed at yourself, curious on how that game would turn out. Now that plans were settled, the group temporarily split into two. 1 more hour! Okay, let me pop back into the house to get my supplies. Anything we could do while you're gone? Yes. You can start clearing out the towels for us to work at. And if you want, look around for good stuff to use.
I'm on it.
Roger that. While Lee ran back to the house, the group did just as she suggested. By the time she returned, everyone had their craft area ready to work at. Lee sat down on one of the towels and looked up at everyone eagerly. She held up 2 necklace options. I hope you've all been thinking about what you want to make. I have for everyone a choice of either a chain or a threaded rope. How do I pick? All I know is I want to put some sea glass chunks on it.
Charming.
It's a charming idea. His gaze went back and forth between Lee's 2 necklace base options. You could tell he was thinking quite hard about it. I can't decide anything for mine. No rush, I'll leave the strands here and you can decorate it however you want later. I suppose I'll use whatever I spot around the beach first. Fate can decide. I think I'll keep it classic and only worry about finding a decent shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm planning on doing shells too. I want to find some sea glass too. I've never found sea glass on my trips to the beach yet. Well, the sand in the beaches that I visit are pretty coarse, I guess. I don't know if the maintenance crew that cleans the beaches in the resorts that I go to also take out like the sea glass, so that's why I've never seen any. But there's still like a lot of seashells that I find, tiny ones. I'm gonna hunt for a handful of shells to pick from. I'm gonna look for some driftwood. I want to use some stones, smooth stones, pebble. I'll just wait and see. I don't have a plan. Yeah. If I can find something cool on the beach, I'll take that. Baxter nodded, obviously able to relate to that mindset. Cole crossed his arms and chewed on the inside of his cheek. You weren't the only one that noticed. What's wrong, Cole? I'm not sure what to use. I mean, ideally I'd want a shark tooth, but what are the chances I would even find one? Mom smiled. You both looked at him sympathetically. Sorry, the rare downside of not having a shark-filled coast. That would make for a really nice necklace though.
I know. With
Cole pouting, Mom gave him a little bump on the shoulder with her fist. Well, don't lose all hope. You never know, you might end up really lucky. Cove laughed. It cheered him up, even though he wasn't really convinced. After that, the little crafting club busily went to work on their pieces. Whatever they decided on using was attached in loops that were then slid onto their necklace base. Terry was immensely proud of herself when she was done. Hers was simple, but gorgeous because of the striking piece of sea glass she painstakingly searched for and found. Baxter excitedly showed his finished piece off to everyone. He stayed true to his word and used various materials he found along the beach. The necklace looked like it had a good weight from the clutter. He always had an eclectic style, it seemed. Cove ended up using driftwood of varying lengths to design his necklace. Despite not finding any shark teeth, he looked pretty pleased. Mom decided on a medium-sized purple ring-topped shell as the centerpiece of hers. Lee went with a few small Siminia shells. They both put their necklaces on soon after they finished. After combing the beach several times, you found just what you were looking for. It took a bit, but you managed to make a necklace you were satisfied with. It mostly had shells. Yeah, we have a shell collection. Your group of crafters was also cheer for the beach, for the volleyball players, whenever shouts could be heard coming out the court. On top of that, you could hold up each newly made piece in the air, and the players would take a breather to applaud the creation. Damn, that's a lot of crafting. That's a lot of volleyball. You really enjoyed searching the beach, trading supplies, watching everyone make their necklaces. The crafting club was definitely a success, and you weren't the only one that had a blast. The afternoon continued to drift by, but the fun was still going strong. Occasionally, someone would head back to the houses to use the bathroom, rest away from the sun a while, or to retrieve something that they needed, but they always came back. The beach was never empty, and there was always a new conversation to take part in or another game to join. At one point, Mr. Holden even broke out his pack of cards. He roped the whole group into a few rounds of good old Go Fish. Go Fish? There was only one thing that could bring this beach day to an end, and that was the day itself to end. Before anyone realized it, the sun began to set over the sea. As that happened, you were taking a break, sitting on a towel with your legs stretched out past it, and your feet buried in the warm sand. Ooh, that feels good. Have you ever tried sinking your feet into warm sand? It's like giving your feet a facial. What? Huh? Giving your feet a facial? Huh? A scrubbing. You were filing your nails. Yeah, that's it. Shortly, you looked up to see your moms approaching. They stopped in front of you and you smiled. Hey there, kiddo.
How are you?
How are you doing? I'm doing great. Today's been amazing. They both sat down, squishing you between them. Ma leaned her head against yours and Mom started rubbing your back soothingly. Nothing more was said at first, but Ma sighed contentedly. Mom looked at you wistfully. We're both really proud of you, Mori.
True.
You grew up to be more than we ever could have hoped. Aww. Aww. Thank you. It's only thanks to you two. I'm not sure I deserve any of that glowing praise. Aww. Thank you. You were touched by the words, and your voice came out in a whisper. Mom chuckled and lightly brushed a bit of your hair.
Thank you.
That's not something you need to thank us for. But still, I wouldn't be here without either of you. Ma wrapped an arm around your middle and squeezed you tightly in a side hug. Glancing at Mom, you saw how teary-eyed she became. She sniffled. You stayed there quietly and contentedly, watching the sunset with your parents for a while, until Mr. Holden called out to you. He was still walking in your direction. We were talking and think we're gonna take a walk down the shore. Any of you wanna come? Automatically, you looked at your moms for what they were thinking. Mom glanced from you to Ma and smiled. That sounds good to me.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be very nice. My legs need some stretching. That's a yes across the board. Thrilled, Mr. Holden threw out a thumbs up and began heading back the way he came in a light jog. Hey, don't leave us in the dust! Cliff kept going forward but flipped around, walking backwards across the sand, so he could face you again.
No worries.
We wouldn't leave without you. Alright, we'll catch up. Ready to go? Uh-huh. Both of your moms held a hand out to you. Chuckling, you gave them each one, and you all strolled back to the rest of the group. When Liz was in reach, Mom used her free hand to pull her into it too. Liz shook her head, but her mouth quirked into a smirk, and she didn't resist. Together as a family, you followed behind the others, hand in hand. Your feet squished into the wet sand as the waves rolled over them. And you didn't have a single care in the world as more and more stars began to dot the sky. Once the sun had long been out of sight, it was finally time to pack up. The closing of the day and the ever-approaching end of summer seemed to intertwine. It caused a quiet, reflective mood to blanket over the group. I'm feeling nasally now. I'll be talking too much. Hold on, let me take like a break from talking. We managed to get like pretty far in this one stream. I just hope we can like finish it in this stream. Well, not the epilogue, but like the step 3, this step 3 thing. We're gonna end it on a cliffhanger, guys. 1 more hour. We nerfed the tangents this stream. Yeah! Yippee! Yippee! No tangents! Yippee! It's because I got 2 raids. Oh! That's like, oh! We gotta keep going. No tangents. I can't believe we got Baxter in chat. Can you believe it? Baxter in chat? Wow! I'm so excited about that information. Kinda wild, there were 2, yeah. There were 2 raids, ayo. One of them was also playing our life, ayo. Why was Baxter here? Baxter was in chat. James Morningstar is Baxter's actual voice actor. He's the one that did the voice lines for Baxter in this game. We've seen him on stream before. He dropped by in chat, but like when I first got the DLC and was playing it on stream, he dropped by to say hello. Oh dang! Hey yo, dang! All right, I think a break. My voice can keep going. I guess read. Can I still read? On the beach, Terry and Miranda took turns compressing Cove in a hug before moving on to do the same to you. You chuckled, still overjoyed that you got to see them today. I'm sorry we have to go already. My parents are here. That's okay. But still, I wish we could help clear this all up. Don't worry about it. Just thanks for coming out today. It was cool having everyone here.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm super glad we came. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. Nodding, you turned your attention to Terry. She wore a large grin on her face and held out a hand for a low 5. You obliged.
See you later.
Take care of yourselves, buddies. After that, they walked away, waving to you and Cove as they went down the shore. Cove waved quietly back with a small smile on his face. You waved too. Yeah, let's wave. It was a big wave. You hoped Miranda was right and there would be another day like this soon. Taking you by surprise, Terry jumped and twisted around. She kept up with Miranda by walking backwards. She kept the mood of your farewell light by shooting finger guns at you and Cove. Miranda bumped her with a hip. It left everyone with a laugh just before they disappeared down the bend. Mori?
Come on.
Hey Cove, would you come here? Both of your parents were motioning for you. The 2 of you went to them. Tons of things ended up on the beach over the course of the day, so there was still so much to pack up, and the parents needed help. With a nod, you got to it, stuffing various things into bags and bundling them up in towels. Once things were ready to go, everyone filled their arms with as much as they could carry. Absolutely no one wanted this to be a back and forth kind of task. The walk back home ended up being mostly quiet. Each person seemed to have been feeling the effects of the day. A cool breeze carried you across the sand and onto the road. There was a sigh of relief from what felt like the group as a whole when they arrived back to the neighborhood. Baxter carefully placed what he had been carrying on the ground. Thank you so much for helping with that.
Thanks.
No, thank you for allowing me to join today. You all shared with me. Helping to carry it back is the least I could do. Ma nodded and the others started collecting their things from his pile. Baxter meanwhile stepped over to you and Cove. It was a pleasure. His head tilted towards you and he smiled warmly. Will I see you again tomorrow? Will I see you again? Tomorrow is my last day. Yeah, definitely. I'll visit you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mori. And I don't expect you to do the same, Cove. Oh, alright, I won't. Baxter turned to shake Cove's hand this time. He was a little incredulous for a moment, but then Cove eventually shifted what he was carrying and took Baxter's hand. It wasn't long, but it was a solid handshake. Baxter was clearly pleased. I wish we had more time together, but it was still a nice ride. While I can't read. While it lasted, would happily do it all over again. This sounds like a review. This sounds like a Yelp review. Wish I had more time here. Was still a nice ride while it lasted. Would happily do it all over again. This is a Sunset Bird review. Bye. See you soon, Baxter. Baxter nodded and walked a few steps toward his condo. He then stopped and waved.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Baxter sauntered away, completely disappeared inside the condo to return to his own things. His time with you, your family, and your friends ended. You paused for a moment, staring at where he went. But afterwards you looked back over to the rest of the group. Lee and Liz were just going inside your house. You couldn't spot Kyra or Mr. Holden anywhere, but the door to their house was wide open. Mom approached you with an amused look on her face. Seems like you're holding up some Holden things. Surprised, you glanced down to take a quick inventory of what you were holding. Mom was right. Some of it belonged to the neighbors. Would you mind dropping it off now? Looking down again at everything you were carrying, you sighed. A teasing grin played at your lips. The Holdens is a long walk from here. Cove snorted and laughed next to you, making your grin wider. Mom chuckled and shook her head. You can hack it, and then you'll get the experience. You'll get to experience the joy of a job well done. He laughed happily and nodded. Mom smiled fondly. Cove took a few steps toward his house and stopped, waiting for you.
Good night.
Good night, Cove. I'll see you inside, Mori. Night. You caught up to Cove, and together you went to his house. Walking in the front door, you saw Kyra and Mr. Holden busily unpacking already. Things were scattered on counters, and they were moving around each other, putting the items away. They both lifted their heads when Cove closed the front door. Hey. It's nice seeing you again already, Mori. Dang, her teasing tone brought a light smile to your face. You hefted the stuff in your arms a little closer. I ended up with things of yours from the beach. Oh, thanks for getting that to us. You can put that, here on that coffee table. Mr. Holden pointed at the surface he was referring to, and you immediately left what didn't belong to your family there. Cove put his own things down on the floor just at his feet, wading through everything strewn about to reach his parents. Putting your family's stuff on the ground for a moment, you dusted your hands off and straightened up. You needed a second of rest and a minute of to resituate it all. You went over to where the others were too. Kyra opened her arms wide, wanting to hug you. Yay! Give her a hug. Without any hesitation, you went to Kyra and let her pull you into a hug. You squeezed her back just as tight. Her hug was filled with affection, and you hoped that she could feel how much you cared about her too. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It was a blast. You're welcome. Today was amazing. Kara eventually released you, but patted the tops of your shoulders as a final gesture.
Thank you.
Every time I've gotten to come by, it's been an absolute joy. Things really couldn't have worked out better. Mr. Holden took a step closer to you. Kara moved aside to let him say goodbye too. He grinned. Thanks for always being such a friendly neighbor. And not just right now, but for as long as I've known you. I didn't always make it easy, but you and your family are good people. I really, truly appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
Thanks again, Mori. So much. It all started with the bribe. At that, Mr. Holden reached over and gave you a soft pat at the top of your head. Ayo, head pats! Head pats! I'm really glad that you're my neighbor. You're good people too. Goodbye, Mr. Holden. I'm really glad that you're my neighbor. Mr. Holden's brows furrowed with emotion. Your words really did touch him. Me too. Mr. Holden was staring at you, but his gaze seemed far away. Maybe he was looking back at who you used to be, the 8-year-old he had asked to be his son's new friend.
See you.
Bye, Mori. He smiled softly. Then Cove took a step forward. He gestured to his pile of things he had carried into the house.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about all that. I'll put stuff away in a few minutes. Right, I need to go do the same with my family. I figured. Cove walked you out the door and held it open, taking one last check around to make sure you had all your things to bring home. You went into the road. He leaned his body against the doorframe, not following you out. So this is it, huh? Actually, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. His expression twisted and he shook his head a bit, like he was trying to banish the pensive thoughts.
Bye.
I'll just say bye. Yeah, bye. It won't be long before you'll see me again. You offered him a small wave goodbye with one of your hands. Cove reached forward and patted your arm reassuringly. Then he kept his hand there, lightly holding your arm. He nodded. One of his hands grabbed onto the door handle and firmly held it. He was stopping himself from coming along with you. As you walked over to your own front door, you stopped. Turning around, you spotted Cove right where you left him. You laughed quietly to yourself. For a small pause, you both stared at each other from across the street. You blew him a kiss. You waved, "Good night." Good night. Night. You shouted across the way to one another. He moved one of his arms in a big wave so you couldn't miss it. Things couldn't be dragged out any longer. After one more shared smile, you opened the door and went inside, shutting it behind you. A few steps in, you saw your family, gathered in the living room. They were still busy unpacking and cleaning. You added the things you brought to the pile on the kitchen table. Oh, kitchen counter. Mom stood up, rubbing her eyes a bit. She yawned loudly. I'm bushed. How about we finish the rest of the chores tomorrow? Yeah, honestly, it's too late for this.
Thanks.
Please and thank you. Ma put her hands on her hips and turned to assess the room. Ma was not one who liked to leave a mess about, but she sighed.
All right.
I suppose we can make an exception for the usual rule. To the usual rule, it has been a really long day. Liz grinned contentedly. Lee wasted no time in skipping over to you and hooked you into a side hug. Good night! I hope you have the loveliest of dreams. I hope you have good dreams too. You hugged her back. You pulled her close into a bear hug. Lee giggled until you released her. I hope you sleep well too. Oh, I totally will. The moment my head hits the pillow, I'll be out like a light. Here's to us, Mori. Tonight, tomorrow, and forever. Yeah, family forever. Lee leaned in close to whisper in your ear. You didn't fail to catch the teasing look on her face.
Aww.
Exactly. There's no escape. That got a laugh out of you. You lightly pushed her shoulder. Lee stretched her arms high over her head. She yawned loudly. Oh, and looked at you with tired eyes. I think that's my cue to head to bed. Bye. I think so too. Have fun sharing the room with Liz. She laughed at that, and Lee shuffled off towards the guest bedroom. Before you had a chance to do anything else, you could feel the top of your hand being tapped. You spun around to see Liz smirking. Nighty-night, I'm heading to bed too. It's been a long day and I have a lot to prepare for tomorrow. Exhaling, you automatically started fixing the back of your hair. When Liz didn't immediately walk away, you smiled softly at her. Ugh. Everything okay? Her gaze moved away, and you knew she had more to say. You waited patiently for Liz to compose her thoughts. It's been a good summer. It was nice to come back home. You nodded, and Liz gave you a teasing nudge as you went by. Amused, you turned and watched her go. Love you, little kiddo. Love you too. Bye, old sister. Bye, old sister. Liz turned back to smirk at you. Chuckling, you gave her a small wave. Sleep well. You too. Liz was out of sight. Mom started up the next conversation over her shoulder. Aren't you heading up to bed too? I want to relax first. Desperately, you needed some time to decompress and clear your mind. You worried if you went off to bed now, you would end up staring at the ceiling all night. Man, those sleepless nights, huh? Okay. Ma came over too, smiling understandingly. She pulled you into a big hug.
Love you.
Alright, you do what you need to. Love you. When you were done hugging Mom, Mom pulled you into another hug. Their actions, basically handing you off to the other, had you laughing jovially.
I love you.
Love you so much. Love you too. Aww. They both couldn't resist taking turns hugging you again. Your smile widened. It felt good to be so loved. Good night, kiddo. Sleep tight. Good night, sweetie. Night. After that, your moms headed up towards their bedroom down the hall. You were about to turn the other direction when you heard Mom's voice. And don't let the bed bugs bite. You heard Ma chuckling as you watched them go with a smile. Time had passed, but you weren't entirely sure how much. Sighing, you sat up on the couch. Long night. It was a good rest, and all of your tired muscles felt quite relaxed. You got up, planning to go to bed, when something out the window caught your eye. Your feet brought you right in front of the large window spanning the length of the back wall. You stared out into the hills behind your house. As if on cue, your phone came on, alerting you of a new notification. It was cold. Want to hang out on the hill tonight? Something inside told you that this was the right kind of night to take a trip out there. You sent him back a very quick message. Yeah. Smiley face. You went over to the front door, and stepping over the threshold, you gave the living room one last glance over your shoulder. Then you shut the door behind you. Silently, you made your way to the Poppy Hill. Oh, the Poppy Hill! With light steps in the dark, you walk across the hills behind your house. Up ahead at the very top, silhouetted beneath the night sky, was a familiar figure already waiting there. Smiling, you wondered just how he always got there first. You even had the advantage of living closer. Then again, maybe it was only in your mind, but somehow Cove was intrinsically linked to this place. After all these years, it would be weird to scan this horizon and not find him there, as surreal as the shore without the sea. The distance between you was growing shorter by the second. Hearing the grass and earth crush under your feet, Cove turned, a grin spread over his face as he saw you. You took your place standing behind him on the crest of the Poppy Hill, looking out over the ocean. Same as you'd done on the countless times since he first arrived, when you'd found him on this very same spot. Mori! He had officially broken the silence, the spell that held you both in place. You looked at him expectantly. There's something I've always kind of wondered about. He cocked his head, giving you a sidelong glance. What did you think about when we met? I was just a kid when... I was just a kid you'd never seen before, bawling his eyes out on the hill next to your house. He chuckled, his eyes drifting towards the sea beyond, before flicking back to you. The way his gaze pulled back to you made it clear he was genuinely invested in the topic. Luckily for him, you remembered what initially struck you in that moment. It was as if it had only happened yesterday. Well, I remember noticing those wavy eyebrows of yours. The wavy eyebrows. Cove shook his head, smiling wryly.
Seriously?
They're that noticeable you homed in on them as soon as you saw me? Unbelievable. No one else has eyebrows like that. It's your signature look. Sighing a bit, you continued to reminisce about the first meeting. I also remember feeling bad about what was happening. I remember that too. He ran a hand through his hair. You knew his line of questioning wasn't at an end. Before he spoke again.
I mean...
I'm feeling nasally again. Do you remember what you thought about me? You know, as a person. Was I annoying or mean or... What did I think about Cove when I first saw him? I wanted to be your friend. I thought you were a sniveling little child crying on a hill. I didn't know what to make of you at first. You seemed interesting, unusual. I don't really remember anymore. Seemed interesting, unusual. Cove's eyes widened, openly amazed by your response.
Really?
Really? I don't know what I did to deserve that. It's nice of you. Oh. Cove's hand drifted to the scar on his arm, his fingers unconsciously gliding over the mark. It was much less noticeable than it had been when the neon pink cast had first come off, shrunken gradually over the years as his body healed, and then dwarfed in comparison to his growing body. Still, his fingers came back to it without thinking. He gave a half smile, not meeting your eyes. I feel bad now. The thoughts I had were, well, considering what you were thinking, I came across as a lot worse of a kid. You didn't like me? Hey yo! You didn't like me?
No.
No, it definitely wasn't that. Cove lifted his head up, finally committing to meet your eyes fully once more. I remember you that day. I remember it really well. I don't think I'd ever be able to forget. I can picture the way you looked back when I first saw you standing right there. I still know the expression on your face when you chose to sit with me on the grass. He chuckled self-derisively, interrupting his own monologue. You scared me at first. I figured I'd be alone out there until I had to face my dad again. And then suddenly another kid appeared out of nowhere. It was startling, but I got over that fast. You were a strange person in a strange place, but in that moment, you were exactly what I needed. Somebody I could talk to freely about what was happening and how it made me feel. And you listened to me. You stayed with me. He sighed, and then bit his lips as he gave a small smile. I was a little bit spoiled growing up. A little? Yeah, you were. It wasn't bad, you were dealing with a lot. A little? Your teasing rolled easily over Cove, who laughed in reply. He looked off again, seeking clarity for his thoughts in the expanse of the night sky. What I'm trying to say is, when I was younger, I viewed myself basically as the center of the universe. I didn't even imagine it wasn't like that.
I mean...
Things didn't simply happen. It would be weird according to my little kid brain. It made far more sense that everything in my life had a specific connection to me somehow, right? Well, that is how kids are, usually. As they, grow into their own in childhood, they're pretty egocentric. That's usually the case for kids. That's why they don't really consider what they say when they tell you out of pocket stuff. Like if they flat out roast you about your like bad choice of clothing, they didn't really consider how you would feel in that moment. Like, oh, your t-shirt is funny. Or like, your shoes are really big. Do you have giant feet? Talking to kids is really funny. He sought affirmation in you. Wavy brows raised as he tried to explain his childlike logic. Bro. Have you ever been roasted by a kid before? Mori, what the heck? Have you ever been roasted by a kid before? Like, someone telling you, like a kid telling you, you're really bad at Minecraft or something? I don't know, man. I got called a woman by a child. Oh, nah. Just cause I had long hair. Are you a woman? Man. I just stared at them. Kids don't know what they're talking about. They don't think when they open their mouth. I swear. Yes, the unfiltered, unbridled roastage of a child. I didn't know how to feel. Man, imagine getting roasted by a child. So at the time, you felt almost unreal. Like you weren't just anyone. Some other kid who happened to live in that neighborhood with your own whole life that wasn't connected to Cove Holden. No, to me, you were there so you could find me when I was lost. Though it turns out you were there for that. You were trying to find me because something had sent you specifically to do that. I just didn't expect it to be my dad. I guess he knew more about what I needed than I thought. He chuckled, shaking his head as he shook off the thought. I kind of expected it all to vanish like a dream when that night was over. I would wake up and everything would be the same again. I'd be back in my bed at home, my real home, with both my parents. The future was something I couldn't picture anymore. I didn't know what school would be like when I went back, or the table where I'd eat breakfast the next morning, or anything. If I couldn't imagine it, how could I think it was something actually happening? I couldn't grasp my new reality. It was too big for me to hold all at once. The inability to perceive the future. Yes, I understand. I didn't care about anything that would happen tomorrow. Damn. The tangents are really funny, but then we're like in the middle of a really emotional talk with Cove. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm ruining the moment with you, Cove. Man. So I never thought I'd see you again. Then Cove beamed at you, his eyes shining bright. And I never ever would have been able to guess that 10 years later, when I was a grown-up, the two of us would still be together. I didn't see things ending up like this either. I'm glad that's how things went. No way! Has it really been that long? 10 years? Words couldn't encompass how you felt, but you smiled. I'm glad this is how things went.
Me too.
Me too. But the smile faded from his face as his eyebrows drew together. That was the worst day of my life at the time. The day my family broke apart. It was too heavy for me to even think about. I felt that way for I don't know how long. He held a hand over his heart, connecting with the pain he felt as a child, and looked at you earnestly.
It's okay.
But now, Everything's better with me and my dad and my mom, and between the two of us. So when I remember that time, it's not the point that my life was over. It's just the day that I met you. Aww. Aww. So great everything worked out. You're just wonderful. You couldn't reply to that. Dang. Cove sighed contentedly. His voice was as delicate as the petals on the poppies that crowned this hill. Hey Mori. I'm so grateful you always took care of me. You didn't even know what to say back to that. His heartfelt appreciation left you speechless. He tilted his head up, thoughts lost in the sparse clouds above. I wonder how late it is. I guess it doesn't really matter. My dad is fine with me being out whenever. You could use your phone to check the time. You quietly nodded. Mr. Holden was content giving Cove all the freedom he could. Are you going to lay in the grass now? Wow, how'd you know? You're predictable. You're predictable. With a chuckle, Cove plopped down onto the ground and laid on his back. His usual way of spending time there. You sat down. You sat on Cove's chest. You sat down. You took your own spot next to him on the grass, brushing the blades of grass aside as a bit with your hand. The both of you fully settled in to relax on the hill. It felt just the beginning of one of your nightly outings. But then you realized the sun was peeking out over the horizon. Cove spoke up with a disbelieving tone.
Huh.
It really was late. Your neighbor wasn't a stranger to being awake at dawn. However, not like this. He was normally an early sleeper, early riser. This unexpected sunrise surprisingly awed him. The two of you watched on silently as the sun began to light the world. A sunrise! On Poppy Hill! Aww. Cove then propped himself up on the backs of his arms and looked at you with a soft expression on his face. Do you want to go back home? I could carry you if you're too tired. No, I want to stay here. You couldn't resist a yawn, but you were serious. It couldn't be time to go already. Cove chuckled affectionately.
I get it.
Okay, but it's been a long day. We've done a lot of things, like, really a lot. It has to end sometime. Since when were you okay with things ending? Does it really have to end? Since when were you okay with things ending? That made him laugh again. It was a fair question. Since you made me feel better about it. And we can still stay if you want to. Cove smiled brightly at you, as warm as the new rays of sun that were tickling your skin. In that moment, you couldn't have appreciated him being there more. You situated yourself to be more comfortable. You leaned into Cove. Good night, Cove. Good morning, Cove. You're my favorite neighbor. Good morning, Cove. He gave you a bent smile and went for the opposite sentiment.
Good night.
Good night, Mori. The two of you remained together on that familiar Poppy Hill where you first met until the world began to fade and blur, and you were falling asleep. A few more gentle words drifted into your consciousness.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Your eyelids dipped, but you felt good. You were safe and relaxed. Everything that had come before this had reassured you of that. You were confident that when you opened things again, things would be okay. You opened your eyes. Instead of the walls of your room, you were surrounded by open sky. It was not soft pillows and sheets under you, but the bed of earth and grass that you'd taken last night. The day welcomed you with its shining sun, a refreshing breeze, and the chirping song of birds. You cupped your face with your hands as you sat up, feeling the imprint of the blades of grass leaving lines on your cheeks. Mori, hearing your name, you lowered your hands and looked around. There he was, your most influential neighbor, Cove Holden. He made himself very comfortable, laying on his stomach with jewelry and shoes taken off and a flower in his hand. Good morning. Not really the morning anymore. Cove laughed, tickled with the overall situation, and simply being able to spend time like this. I told you I'd see you tomorrow. It's the exact same day, Cove. Pretty safe bet, we see each other nearly every day. Alright, good for you. I'm glad you were right. It's the exact same day, Cove. We were up until dawn. It doesn't make it a new day just because we went to sleep later than normal. Then we disagree, because to me, it's not really the next day until I've been to bed and woken up. But fine, I'll have to make sure I see you tomorrow again. Probably the day after that too. That way there's no argument. Cove turned his head up to the sky, his expression content. Looks like it's gonna be a nice day. We'll have to come up with something to do to make the most of it. He trailed off, blinking slowly in the sunlight. Someday, when we're even older than we are now, I wonder what we'll end up remembering this moment for. What will we feel like? What will we feel when we look back at it? Will it be the same as what we're feeling right now?
It's nice.
I can't see what the future is gonna look like again, but I think that's alright. You're way too sentimental. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have forgotten all about this. me. I forget. I forgot. I think it'll mark another new start for me. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Cove turned back to you, nodding in full agreement. He eyed the hills sprawling out before you, and down below, where the wild hill nature gave way to civilization. Your home and Cove's lay down at the bottom, neatly filed among the other houses in the neighborhood. 5 p.m. reminder. No. We still haven't gotten to Baxter's part yet. No. Hey Mori, I bet I can beat you to getting back to the road. You laughed, amused by the wager. Okay, let's speedrun this. Reminded you of so many moments in your youth. As much as I like it I like it here, it's okay if we leave now. We can always come back to see the poppies and the fireflies again, right? Cove met your eyes, waiting for what you were going to say in response. Right, I'd like that. It really is gonna be another nice day. Yeah, we better do that. You're not getting out of it. We better do that. Your comment quirked a wry smile from Cove. His voice was lilted with mirth. You really are irreplaceable, huh? Cove beamed at you. His expression was so unlike the one he'd worn when you first found him here, swaddled in sadness and uncertainty. Yet you couldn't help but glimpse that boy once more underneath his bright expression and matured features.
Come on.
And then we ran down the hill. He offered you a hand. You accepted it, your palm fitting around his. Cove lifted himself up, pulling you along too. Our parents probably aren't gonna come running for us this time. You've got to make our own call. And I say, we can't hide away forever. Poppy Hill is just one part of things. There's more out there for us than this time and place alone. Let's enjoy it. You couldn't say whether you were the one that broke into a run, if Cove had been one to start it, or if your feet had simultaneously made that choice for you both. The end result was the same. Hold on. I need to make a quick toilet break because I've been drinking too much water. Be right back. Hello? Hello? I am back. We're speedrunning this ending. Oi! The end result was the same, with the two of you dashing down the hill like children. But with the nostalgic revelry that could only come as an adult. Thank you for the head pats, a fool. As the wind whipped past you, you knew that family and friends were waiting at the end of your sprint. There were more memories to make after all. Master Mario, hello! How's it going? I'm doing great. How are you? We got Mario in chat. Hey yo! It's an all-star right now. There were memories to make after all. Life takes another step forward, always and forever. Oh, hey yo! And here's the ending credits. Oh no, I forgot to take off that. I love this song actually. I can't give membership for other people. I don't have memberships on YouTube. After the credits is when Baxter's extra scenes start. Weirdly enough, but I guess that's how it was programmed. Are you streaming on Twitch? Yes, I am also streaming on Twitch. Let's see if we can find Baxter. Wait, no! Oh man, we missed it. How do I skip this ending screen? Ow! No way. Here are all the supporters. Some of these backers actually supported and got their names into the voice names DLC. It was like a free thing. Ah, here's the Baxter stuff. I think there are more people in Twitch chat. To demonstrate Mori is streaming on Twitch. Oh! The bonk redeem to demonstrate Mori is streaming on Twitch. Why the bonk? You could have used the pet! Dang. You could have used the pet redeem A4. Why you gotta do it like that? Man. Neil, we're still not finished with Baxter. We're in his which room is this? In the rental that he's in. We need to see him off. The clatter of a suitcase hitting tile brought you back into reality. More powerful evidence. Oh. Okay. Alright, I'll take the bonk. You'd been zoned out in thought for some amount of time. How long was impossible to guess. But you were in Baxter's room. It was almost exactly 24 hours since the last time you'd been together. During the big goodbye get-together the previous day. The scene in front of you then was familiar in a way. You were standing in the corner and watching as he packed. But there was none of the franticness or excitement of a fast-approaching trip to the mountains. In this moment, every motion Baxter made was slow and laborious. It was the end of his time in Sunset Bird. When the job was done, it would be finished. When you first arrived at his place, Baxter and you reminisced over a summer well spent, one over all too soon. The task of putting his things into bags was drawn out enough for all possible conversation to have spent and a quiet to creep in. That's how you'd gotten sucked into your own head, a private reflection on the person in front of you. Baxter Ward had been the harbinger of change in the tiny town, an inescapable sign that the life you'd known for nearly your entire childhood was also coming to an end. But he had become your normal over the summer, and now he was going to change it all again by going away. A part of you wanted to jump out of reality again. In your mind, Baxter was ever present, but in this room, Baxter had just finished the last task before he left for good. You stared at the neatly gathered bags around Baxter's fancy black shoes. When did that happen? Your gaze drifted to his face, unsure. Baxter was watching you too, and smiling sweetly.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting me once more, Mori. I'm fully settled now, and it is getting late. I believe the time has come for you to return home. More accurately, but harder for Baxter to admit. Ah! Hello, Ariel! Oh my god, we're just about to say goodbye to Baxter! Hello! How are you? Happy New Year! Yippee! New Year, but back on my own bullshit. Back to the same bullshit. What good news? Oh, Ariel. Yes. Finally, time to get rid of the monochrome man. More accurately, but harder for Baxter to admit, it was time for him to return home. But he simply tapped a suitcase with his foot and kicked the real farewell down the road. Thank you for the head pats, A4. No, not A4, Ariel! It started with an A. Ariel, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I misread. Thank you for the head pats. Please don't bonk me. Please. Ow! No! No! On execution. No! 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 Please. Forgive me. Forgive me. Praying emoji. Praying emoji. It both started with an A. Oh man. I hope you're doing good, Ariel. Would you mind if I saw you out? No, pray emoji. No. Oh no, Ariel. I'm going to treat you by giving you more Baxter content. Yes. We're finally going to read through the epilogue on stream. Yippee! You moved to join Baxter at the front of the room. Obviously, I wouldn't mind. Come on.
Very well.
Very good. The bags were left as they were for the time being, as Baxter escorted you to the front door and onto the street. You both stood there in the very place where you first reunited. Baxter put his most agreeable smile to work. It was there, though called in on what should have been a day off.
It's...
I suppose this is the most fitting place to say goodbye. It is unlikely we'll see one another again before I'm gone. That was it. No getting around things. This was goodbye. You're done, Mori. You made Ariel angry. No! No! Forgive me! Pay for your sins. I'm repenting. I'm repenting. I'm on my knees. Please, whatever I can do to make it up to you. It's like a jealous girlfriend or something. And then I accidentally called out like a side girl, a side chick or something. What am I saying? Bruh. Hesitantly, he held up his arms for a farewell embrace. You gave him a comfortable hug. You pulled him into a tight squeeze. Mori? What? Side chick. What is this? Side girl is crazy. I don't know, man. The things that come into my brain, I have no power over them. My brain, the singular brain cell in my mind has a mind of its own. What? Don't worry about it, Ariel. You didn't hear anything. No, go back to your thing. Moving on. You pulled him into a tight squeeze. He let out a demure puff when you nearly cracked his back with your powerful compression. Very demure. I forgot the trend. You called A4 a side chick? No! A4! Forgive me! Forgive me! No! I'm on my knees! Forgive me! No! Yeah, that's true. No! I made a mistake! No! Sheesh. Ow! Ouch! No! Ow! Man, I got... This doesn't help all the allegations. I got bunked twice by both these people. Okay, don't ever let me open my mouth ever again. No! It's because I've been yapping for 3 hours straight. The filter is off. Forgive me, the both of you, please. His arms crossed over each other behind you, and both of his hands came to rest on your shoulders. Baxter had tied himself to you with a bow. You enjoyed every second of it. Then, when you finally untangled yourself, you just put enough distance between you so you could see each other's faces. Baxter spoke again with a new tenderness to his tone. It was so wonderful meeting you. This has been the best summer, best any particular season I've had in years. I'll never forget a minute of it.
Goodbye.
And I sincerely hope you'll find someone who'll make you happy and fulfilled. You're suited only for the best. Goodbye, Mori. Hold on, why can't that be you? Wait, you're dumping me? He's the one that dumped me? Bro. Oh. Damn. Right after the side chick controversy, I get dumped? Bro. Immediately after my controversy, the other person I'm dating broke up with me. When you're playing a dating sim with multiple targets, you want to make us targets too? Whoa. Nah. Got exposed. I have many women. Hashtag deserved. Maybe I shouldn't have streamed today. Good luck. I hope you find happiness too. You nodded understandingly. You stared in disbelief. I mean, when he asked us out, he was very clear that this was just a summer fling. So, I guess we're already prepared for that. You nodded understandingly. It was great having a summer together, and you were content to let him go now. You wish it could have lasted longer, but you couldn't force him to give you more time. We don't have to date long distance. I just want to keep in touch. Can we keep in touch? The way Baxter flinched at those words was disconcerting. You didn't understand what was happening anymore. We'll talk to each other after this, right? I'm leaving. That was the explanation. 2 words. He stated the obvious, almost placatingly. A gentle reminder that somehow would make everything clear. Since you didn't convincingly look like you'd reached a complete understanding of the universe, he continued. Disappointed. Nice boat. Oh. Mori, I'll be on the other side of the country. I won't be there to give you rides or make cupcakes together, or take you out for drinks. We can't sightsee or go on trips. It should go without saying. So, we can still talk. That's what matters. Yeah, I have a lot of online friends. I talk to you guys. I talk to chat. Haha, got dumped. No. What do you mean? No. Copium. Well, no one wants you for real. No. We can text and have calls and a bunch of things. Baxter folded his arms then. Caution was quickly giving way to exasperation. I see you don't understand me. Unfortunately, I'm having trouble following myself. Why would we? We've known each other's existences for approximately 3 months. And your only familiarity with me is what I've chosen to share, which is not much.
I swear.
You aren't a bad person if you don't go immensely out of your way to continue keeping tabs on a near stranger. It's fine to leave me be. This is not keeping tabs. It's a normal way to interact with somebody you know. Baxter, you're my friend. Hashtag denial. Hashtag copium. We can't keep being friends! Huh? Miranda has an older brother, Jude. He's making a long-distance situation work. The 2 of them haven't lived near each other for multiple months ever, even though they've known each other for years.
Oh?
Oh, it is truly delightful to hear that, and I wish the best for Miranda's brother and his partner. Of course, my rather reasonable prediction is that it will not last. Most relationships don't. As for me, in terms of us, unfortunately, I've quite run out of anything to say. He'd shot you down entirely, not giving a single centimeter towards compromise. It left you stunned. What happened? Baxter could be hard on himself, but never others. Since when had he been someone so cynical? Yeah, no friends allowed. Ha! Ha! You were furious at his glibness. It defeated you. You were heartbroken at his dismissal. You still didn't want to give up. It made you dumb. Numb, but if that was how he felt, you didn't mind. He clearly wanted to go. If that was how he felt, you would live with it even though it hurt. How do we react to that? I would feel numb. Like, huh? What are you talking about? We were great friends. What do you mean you want to cut contact? We didn't have any fights or anything. This isn't a falling out. You were just leaving. It made you numb. The only part of you that wasn't frozen solid was the heart pounding painfully in your chest. Baxter raked his ringed fingers through his hair. The tidy white and black stripes were all messed up. I would have preferred it to have been an enjoyable time having my company while I happened to be here. That was the intention. It seemed I've ruined that on the whole. I accept the blame for that. If I had behaved better, this wouldn't have come to a close on such an abhorrent note. Mori, serious question. What would you do if this is actually you? If I think about it, I don't know. Maybe I'd start crying. Maybe I'd start crying. Because if someone I care about actually tried to push me away, like really angrily, then I don't think I could take that. I'd start crying. What do you mean? I'd start crying, but I'd accept it. I'd accept it. Alright, if that's what you want, go ahead. You're losing out on a friend here, but sure. However, I am not an irreplaceable part of your life. I was a tourist, a novelty, and now I'm not even that, so don't bother with this. Every word was poisonously mocking. No more effort could be spared to put it politely. You heard his opinion on himself laid bare. It was terrible. He thinks he's unimportant. He turned his back to you, beginning the process of separation promptly. Baxter only spoke over his shoulder. I am genuinely sorry, Mori. If I could take back these days, I would.
I will never cause this kind of trouble for you again.
Buh. Buh. At the very least, I can promise I will never cause this kind of trouble for you again. He was serious. This was the end of the line for his association with you. You looked at the Baxter's obscured face for the last time and tears were rolling down your cheeks. You were smiling as tears gathered in the corners of your eyes. You couldn't keep a frown off your face. You didn't know what expression you were making. Do we cry? Do we stay true to what I said and cry? You were smiling with tears gathered in the corner of your eyes. Have a nice life, Baxter. Fine. See you never, Victorian emo man. Okay. Okay. Take out a knife, bro. No. No. I called it. He left us. He left us. It doesn't have to be this way. I'll miss you. You weren't able to speak. Have a nice life, Baxter. Call him an emo. Do I want to fight him? Do we want to leave it on a bad note? Well, it already is. We didn't end it amicably. Man, this guy's such a drama queen. This guy's such a drama queen. I'd probably laugh at him. If I wasn't like taking it seriously, and this guy that I've been friends with for like a summer was getting really drama queen like, saying I will never cause an inconvenience to you ever again, I'd laugh at him. Aren't you too? LOL. What am I? An emo? I'm not an emo. I'm not an emo, I say as I have... It is kind of funny though, yeah. I'm not an emo, I say as I pull out my dark hair and black sclera eyes. No, I'm not an emo. What do you mean? Have a nice life, Baxter. Baxter didn't say anything else. He didn't react. He only stepped forward and closed the door to his rented condo. He was gone. And you turned to your actual friends. They were always there for you, no matter what. And that was something a person like him might never understand. But ever a man of his word, you didn't see Baxter Ward again. Epilogue! You reached the epilogue. And now it's time for me to skadoosh. Here you can choose which epilogue to play. Note you can only play one, and then the game will end. Enjoy. This is my Baxter route, so... Oh, wait, no, not load. Let's save. Let's put it here. Yeah, overwrite save. So, we're at a crossroads here, guys. Since we started with Derek's DLC, do you guys want to play Derek's epilogue first before we do Baxter's? Because we can only pick one before we restart and pick the other. Which one do you want to play first, guys? I am leaning to Derek first because I have never played Derek's epilogue yet. This is like new territory for me. I'm going in blind for Derek's epilogue. I'd rather pick Derek, but since we've been doing Baxter, I mean, we can go back to Derek. We could go back and see through, finish Derek's DLC first before Baxter. To have a lesser messy stream. Well, I'm not gonna stream. I'm not gonna stream it right now. I'm going to make another stream. See, Mori's trying to have too many husbands. Who? Derek. 2 husbands and 2 relationships. No, not like this. Please. Yeah, I'll have to invite Riot again for Derek DLC. He has to live through it. I need him here to live through the Derek DLC. Ouch. Why? I got bonked. Well, Baxter left us, so we're going to go over Derek. Okay. My heart has been broken. I'm going back to my childhood crush, Derek. All right. We're gonna end the stream here, but I think we'll do Derek's epilogue next, and then in another stream, once we finish Derek's, we'll do Baxter's. Then after Derek and Baxter, we'll go through the Cove epilogue and actually get to the wedding DLC, because I want to cover that as well with the new dialogue from the DLCs getting added to the wedding one. But yeah, all right, time to un-emo myself. All right, thank you guys for watching. Have I saved? Yes, I saved. And then let's quit to menu. No, not the game. To the menu. Return to menu. There we go. I've been at this for 3.5 hours, chat. Thanks for the stream, Mori. Thank you for dropping by. Cheater. No. I've been labeled a cheater. No. I've never had a relationship before, but I've been called a cheater. Good lord. No, not you, Junior. I'm ending stream. Goodbye. Stop making me cry. Thank you everyone for dropping by. Thank you Kaito and Runa for the raids. And thank you James Morningstar for dropping by as well. Baxter's voice actor was in chat earlier. He was watching the stream. But yeah, it's time for me to vamoose. Here one moment, gone the next. Goodbye.